because it is Wrestling Insider's Sunday Night Live Super Chat Watch Along. I'm Dan Marati along with the one, the only Boston Wrestling Sports ambassador, if you will, talent relations extraordinaire, Mr. Charles or Charlie Wilson, depending upon how well you know him.
Talent relations.
Not everybody gets to know. Does everybody get to call you Charles? Or did most call you Charlie?
Depends on who it is.
What about Paulo?
Paulo can call me what he wants, except late for dinner.
Late for dinner. Not to be confused with Kevin Manikus Hart, who's beyond late for dinner. But,
well, that's another thing.
It's a different story for a different time.
Well, maybe
all these Manikuses we know. The only reliable Manikus is John C. Manikus Reilly, manning the booth.
He's a trooper. He really is.
Which one, Reilly or
Riley?
Hart?
Yeah. I mean, he really is. He's a
Hart you're not sold on Hart yet.
On who?
Hart.
I've only met him one time. He's a very nice guy. Maybe he's stuck in some jam or some jelly.
Maybe because of his size, he had a hard time trying to get off the tee. Like his head was just hitting the ceiling.
His head was hitting the ceiling.
Yeah, he couldn't get out.
Too big of a man?
He's too big of a man.
He's like Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Manikus the Giant.
Andre Hart over there.
Yeah.
But we are pleased to have you with us, folks. Unfortunately, even though it rhymes with Treasury, Phil DeCesare is not with us tonight. He was feeling a little under the weather.
He's got that drip drip.
He's got the drip drip.
Yeah, the nasal drip drip. Not like Seth Rollins drip drip. Or
hopefully it didn't drip all the way down from the top floor to the basement. It was so bad, but
his guests would
we
appreciate
hope he's
that.
well. We're watching the show that he actually picked.
Yeah. You know what, Phil? If you're watching out there, we were just talking about. Email Dan a few shows that you have for ideas. If you have some in the old noggin there.
Well, fans, if you didn't know, which I think would be virtually impossible if you have the link up, we're going to be watching Slamboree 1998, which took place at the Worcester Centrum in almost the backyard of Phil DeCesare.
He was
very excited about Slamboree 98.
Just down the road.
I don't know where he lives, but I think it's somewhere near Worcester.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's out there.
Well, he's in central Massachusetts. He's not near us. That's about all we know.
Well, relatively speaking. But you know what? Phil picked this show, and I think it's going to be an interesting show where I'm looking at the description. Sting the Giant face the Outsiders, Randy Savage and Bret Hart. That's a great matchup right there.
Well, the tag team match almost seems like a Nitro main event.
It does, yeah. You'd never really think they wouldn't really put a tag match on for a main event. Usually it was always a singles match.
Yeah, they used to bill it as the biggest tag team match in wrestling history every week on Nitro.
And Nitro,
every week.
You know, to be fair, Nitro, I mean, WCW, they might have had the best talent roster in the history of the business. From top to bottom. It was pretty stacked. It was up there.
It was pretty close at one point, at its peak.
Yeah.
Because the problem was, almost all of them were past their prime.
Well, no, I'm not just talking about the main event, guys. I'm talking about the mid-card.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
The mid-card was amazing. I think WWF had a better... At some point, WWF had the better main event scene.
Yeah,
but the mid-card was WCW. I mean, not that I need to say anything negative about the WWF mid-card, but
no,
I think WCW was definitely in there. I mean, now 95 WWF mid-card was pretty rotten.
No, just about everything in 95 WWF was pretty rotten. As I sit here, social mediaing away, folks, don't think I'm being rude and ignoring you.
Nope.
As Charlie and I chat away before we kick off things with Slamboree, as we wait for Phil DeCesare, we know is out. We know that Kevin Manikus Hart, who some fans haven't met yet from last night.
Well, I was going to say, it's funny because you were supposed to not be here.
Who?
You.
Well, it's a long story.
Now,
it's a very, very, very long story.
I'm glad you're here with me because I would have had no one. I would have had John C. in the booth, and that would have been it.
Well, see, sometimes things work out for a reason. But
do you think how many tickets do you think they sold to the Garden tonight? 7?
Maybe 5. No. If they did 5, it's a good night.
But that's still pretty low. I mean, how many people does it sit there?
Well, they only opened up the lower bowl, so.
But they sell the whole thing, that's what, 20?
Now that they have the set, I think it's scaled for about 13 for a sellout.
See, that's the thing that you never think about is their sets have gotten so big, so they have to sell less seats.
Well, even for the house shows, they just curtain a lot of the upper deck off to go along with that set. But, yeah, I mean, even Madison Square Garden, John Cena Sr. and I spoke about it. this past Friday night on Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays. Second lowest attended event at MSG since 1949. Can you believe that? Christmas week. Or Christmas week, the day after Christmas. That is a sign of the times, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if any of you were at MSG for the big event, but it was a rough night at the office, so to speak. That's a very expensive building to run.
Do you think that's
and to sell 5,000 tickets is pretty sad.
Do you think that's a state of affairs with that company?
Yeah, I would say, or people would have gone.
And do you think, I was thinking about this today, I really don't think that WWE, as we know it, has a lot of time left. I think Vince is going to be gone at some point in the near future.
He's just going to die?
Well, he's going to die eventually. And Triple H, I think he's given no real confidence to because of how he's taken over NXT. I think they're going to sell it to Disney at some point. Or
well,
to any
it was
other
interesting.
buyers.
What's the guy's name?
Nick Khan?
No, the guy, oh boy, the actor that was writing for them. That
Freddie
was
Prinze Jr.?
Him. He said that they tried to, when they were negotiating with Fox for the SmackDown deal, that they tried to sell it to Fox, but the price was outrageous, so Fox just wound up, licensing SmackDown for the 5 years. But I found that I had never heard that before.
You know, when you say that to me, that's the first thing I think of is, I really don't even care about their new programming. If they just have the network up still so we can watch shows like Slamboree 98, that's all I'd care about.
You don't even care if they exist anymore.
Honestly, at this point...
As long as they have the archives.
Let's say Fox bought it or Disney, and they just said, we're going to have no more new wrestling, we'll just have the network up for all the wrestling that's happened to this point. You could have the wrestling from the 70s. I mean, what's the oldest thing they have on the network? Is it from the 70s?
I've never really gone back to look, to be honest.
But let's say they
I know there was at least a few things from the 70s on there.
But let's just say WWE ended the day after the Rumble, and you could not watch anything past Royal Rumble 2022, which we'll be doing a watch-along for, I believe.
Yes.
And that would be a fun night for many reasons. But we'll be doing a watch-along for it, and I think, to me, I wouldn't care. And that's a sad thing for me to say. But for me, I just would like be able to see, can I watch Slamboree 1998 on the network at any time? That's what I want to know.
And you can.
Yeah.
I just wish they would go back to having the content that they had on the original version of WWE Network as compared to now, which is missing an awful lot. I have friends that work for the network, and...
Do you remember it used to be 24/7? That's what they called it?
I love that platform. To me, I enjoyed that. But
what do you like about it?
you were able to record it if you wanted to. It rotated every month. There was something new and different to look forward to. It was cheaper. Yeah. It was, what was on there was more focused, maybe easier to find. I find this, I don't like this platform at all, Peacock.
Really?
No, I like the original WWE Network, I thought was a lot easier to navigate.
But for you, though, do you think that it would get to a point if it was sold to WWE that they would stop new content, or no, they wouldn't stop?
No, why would they?
Well, I mean, wrestling was supposedly very cheap to produce, correct?
It can be. It can be as cheap as they, it could be as cheap as they want to, depending upon how they structure the talent's contracts and how wild they want to go with sets and pyro and, you know, all that jazz. I'll say this, no matter how underwhelming the content can be, I think they still have state-of-the-art video production, no matter what you want to say about them.
Oh, yeah. And I would actually argue if Vince was going to sell, he would want to do it after WrestleMania 40.
You think so?
I think WrestleMania 40 would be his last show that he would, under the Vince.
Well, considering they tried to sell it to Fox a couple of years ago, I don't know if that's the case. I think if whatever price they're looking for someone's willing to hit, I think they'd take it in a heartbeat.
What do you think the price would be? We're looking at.
That's an interesting question.
Obviously, it's billions.
Yeah. Oh, easily. Yeah. If UFC, what did UFC go for? 4?
What year was that?
Several years back.
Let's call it.
But I believe it went for $4 billion, unless I'm really out of it.
I'm going to see if
anyone in the chat, do you guys know, or can you Google it? What UFC went for? The number to me is around $4 billion. I know they're going to want a lot more than that, just so they can say they, play who has the bigger dick game.
Well, let's see how much is WWE worth, according to the Google machine. As of 2020, the WWE net worth is listed as $5.71 billion.
Million or billion?
$5.71 billion, according to this website here.
Well, I mean,
actually no. Over $6 billion right now. As of 6 days ago, it's just over $6 billion.
I think maybe that's going. Well, I don't know if that's going by just what the stock is worth, or I don't know how they calculate that number.
If you had the money, would you buy the WWE with a group of investors?
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah.
And the MWF would become the number one.
They'd turn it around. Well, they'd be buy by NXT. The real gold and black would be back, baby.
Would the MWF be the number one wrestling promotion in all the land at that point?
No.
You would actually just make it the WWE.
Of course. Yeah. WWE is the brand that people know and are familiar with. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd do with it. In short order.
I think you'd enjoy firing and hiring people.
I really don't know if I'd enjoy firing people unless it was, all the people that I can think of that I dislike in that company are gone from the purging that has gone on since the beginning of the pandemic. And it's really only 3 people. And I'm glad they're gone.
Will you mention those names or not?
No, not here.
Did you like Kevin Dunn?
I had very limited interaction with him, and I've had nothing bad to say. I really have nothing great to say.
Okay.
But fine, I guess, is the word I would use to describe it.
Because I wonder if it was ever to be sold, if he'd be included in that. You have to take Kevin Dunn in a deal or something like that.
I'm sure there'd be a lot of those, they'd be grandfathered in. Almost like if we ever sold the MWF, they'd need to take John C. Manikus Reilly with them.
Of course. Well, you think we've given Manikus Hart?
Why don't we start up WCW Slamboree for all the folks, even though I'm still in the middle. Would you, well, you know what, because you have so many cameras on you, maybe it would be easier for John C. to switch over to an individual shot of you, and then I can get back to the cumbersome, what, I hear feet. Is it Reilly or is it Hart?
That's Reilly.
It's Reilly, all right. What's Reilly doing?
I think he's moving to the camera shot.
He's moving, well, where is he?
I think he's in the,
How the hell is he going to move a camera shot if he's in the booth?
He'll be out in a second.
See, I can't see what's going on in the aisleway, folks. I have, I keep hearing feet. Tony Atlas would be thrilled. It'd be like a wet dream for him to hear all that walking.
Do you think he would like Little Manikus Hart, Tony Atlas?
I'm sure he'd bother him, like he does everybody with his stories. And no, I just wanted you to switch the camera to him so I can put this on.
Dude, when was the last time Tony was in it was about a year ago, right?
It was last February that he stole like a thief. Well, not stole like a thief. Stole as a thief.
Yeah. Well, everyone, as Dan Marotti finishes up his computer responsibilities, we're going to be starting in a second. You can click at the link. I believe the link is in the chat at this time.
I am going to add it if it's not.
And if you're watching from the comfort of your own home on a television screen, just go to the Peacock, WWE, type in Slamboree. It's season 6, episode 1. It's Slamboree 1998. It's a picture of Sting looks like a piece of pyro going off, and it says Sting and the Giant face the Outsiders, Randy Savage versus Bret Hart. And again, it's season 6, episode 1, Slamboree 1998. This was picked by Phil DeCesare, Rhymes of Treasury, as we like to say. And I think it's
the new voice
of
Boston Wrestling MWF.
I think, yes, a matter of fact.
You have to address him appropriately.
I do. And I think it's a good pick. I think it's,
You think Cena Sr. and his piece made a good call?
I think so, too. I was wondering,
No, that was a question.
I think so.
Yeah. What about his piece?
Well, his piece is always as a piece.
All right.
I was thinking actually about this. We always wonder what the next shows are going to be. Is there any show in particular that you could think of and say, we cannot review that show, or I do not want to see that show at all?
Some of the more recent ones I really wouldn't have much of an interest in. But if the fans really wanted it, I'd suffer through them.
Like WCW Greed or ECW December to Dismember from
You want to know, funny enough, who really loves that show?
Which one?
Is December to Dismember.
Oh, that was an awful pay-per-view.
Kevin Manikus Hart.
Does he?
When we were tinkering with this yesterday afternoon, when we had the visit from Paul, he had it up on the screen and he talked about how much he loved it. I almost want to watch it with him here to see what it is he enjoyed so much. He has quite the love for Rob Van Dam.
You know,
I don't know if it was how you did last night when you were talking about his
ass.
Well, if that's how you want to word it, yes.
Well, I mean, and also I'm a little bit I'm the non-ECW guy here because to me, I talked about last night. You have to have rules.
Well, I think WWE's version of ECW was a little bit more rule orientated than, Wild Wild West.
Right. And I thought of it. I liked ECW back in the day, or what I've seen because of the ambiance, because of the feel of it, the vibe. It felt like you're going to a seedy rock show.
Yeah.
It had its own. It had a lot of different mixes of talent. It felt different. It felt unique. It wasn't a traditional wrestling show, but it did take elements from traditional wrestling. You could see elements from the NWA or UWF in there with the characters. It was interesting. It was an interesting day. My problem was all the run-ins and all the violence and all the bumps and.
The violence I had no problem with. It was, like you said, for the match to mean something, the rules need to be respected.
How many table bumps can you see in one show before it's just like,
And there was so many, it was one thing maybe I never gave a lot of thought to it that period of time when it existed. But there were just so many pointless run-ins.
Mm-hmm.
If it's done for a reason, if it's needed, awesome. Okay, sure. But even in the main event, you had that Blouser come in and give Terry Funk a powerbomb.
What did you call her?
A Blouser.
What's a Blouser?
A slob.
What
was the need?
We have these great nicknames for these women. Bozark, Blouser.
What was the need for her to come in there? This nameless woman that I don't ever remember seeing before the show or ever remember seeing after Barely Legal. Why was she there to powerbomb Terry Funk in the main event?
No idea.
Right before the finish.
And the finish was weird. I think I told you. He gets hit with the DDT, kicks out two, just picks him up, and then they do a small package. It's like, what the hell? But I think ECW meant a lot to the history of wrestling. I respect what it is. I actually think it did hurt the business a little bit. And I said that to Bill Alfonso one time.
And what did Fonzie say? Fonzie is anxious to come on Wrestling Insiders. I don't know if I told you
He was on another show with some sunglasses.
Please. All right, yep.
The Corey Hart Foundation.
Enough. Yep.
And I messaged, because this was before I joined the MWF.
Oh.
And I messaged, I said, do you think that ECW hurt the business? And he said, whoever said that, go F yourself. ECW did not kill the business. And I said, I apologize for my question. I hope that Bill Alfonso doesn't hate me. And he's like, I don't hate you at all.
I don't think it killed the business by any stretch of the imagination. But I think it was something
long-term
that
effects
needed to be short-lived, and it was.
I think I look at it like this. ECW inspired a lot of shit.
I think in the end of the day, Paul Heyman was smart enough to realize, okay, how do we keep this different than what WWE and WCW are doing?
Right.
WWE and WCW both went with, I guess what you would call a light version of ECW, a light version of hardcore wrestling, taking their talent. I think eventually, and I think if you look at maybe at their events towards the end, when they lost a lot of their star power, you saw them starting to go to the better quote-unquote workers, the Carinos and the Jerry Lynns and the Van Dams and the Just Incredibles. And I think it slowly but surely maybe would have morphed into what Ring of Honor and TNA went to when you look at the non-WWF cast-offs that went to TNA. Well, and I think that maybe would have made for a very interesting product.
You mentioned Ring of Honor, and I know, again, Ring of Honor was an underground thing with the DVDs instead of the...
people that belong underground running it, but anyway.
But what I'm trying to say is they had a very niche audience and they had their own product. It was very different from what was going on in wrestling. If you turn on WWE or even TNA in 02 and 04, 05, Ring of Honor was very different than what was going on. And I say that as my time of wrestling as a big fan, and I've talked to you about this, was in that mid-2000s period. We talk about the people who we want to bring on for Wrestling Insiders, and Dan has informed me that a lot of people want to see stars of yesteryear from the 80s and early 90s.
That just seems to be the most popular. And I'm going to ask you guys right now, as we get ready to go live, is there a particular era of talent that you like or would like to see interviewed on this show? To me, the most popular talents that come on are those that were featured in WWF from WrestleMania 1 through WrestleMania 8. After that, there's a dip. in the interest. Now, I pass the baton to you fine fans because our goal isn't to make ourselves happy. It is to generate interest for you guys, to make you guys want to watch, for you guys want to obviously contribute to the Super Chats, join the Patreon, help the Marty Jannetty Indiegogo campaign, attend our live events and so on and so forth. So really, at the end of the day, you guys are really the boss. We're trying to appease you, make you guys happy, make you guys smile, make you guys want to engage with the shows. So you tell us, to me, from what I've seen, you guys really like that WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 8 time frame. So 85-ish through 92-ish. Are there different times you want to see? Did you like the ECW theme show that got cut off at the knees for a little while because of Just Incredible? I'm going to go back to your comments in a section. John C., now that I finished up what I needed to do, could you cut to the man that all the women love?
Yep, and some of the men, too.
Charlie Wilson. All right.
Well, and you know what, guys? It is, I mean, as wrestling fans, I think we all like to see wrestlers at the end of the day be interviewed.
What does it rhyme with?
Treasury.
All right.
But we all like to see wrestlers be interviewed.
Whoa.
I could tell you, I was telling Dan, I grew up, and I think a lot of people love the wrestling that they grew up with the most. I could tell you personally, I grew up watching the Ruthless Aggression era. So if Dan brought in someone like a Heidenreich or a Luther Reigns, I'd probably be a little excited. But some people may not care for those individuals. They might want to see someone like Tito Santana or Salvatore Bellomo.
No, Salvatore's passed away, so I don't think
he passed away?
I believe so.
When did he pass away? Now I feel like a dickhead.
Not today. All right, so wrestling fans, we're getting ready to watch Slamboree. What the hell year is it? 1998?
98.
The link can be found in the description box below and in the premiere chat. What we like to do is go 3, 2, 1, click. So we're going to do that together now as I mosey on over to the 86-inch MWF Tron, and we're going to do it in 3, 2, 1, click. All right, baby, we're off to the races at the Worcester Centrum in Worcester, Massachusetts.
I didn't know that he was gone, Phil, but I guess he is.
You didn't? Phil's left us. Where did he go?
Mike Burke Coffin says he wants Alexander Hammerstone. Is that an MLW guy?
Yes, it is.
Is he good?
He
looks great.
He has a great physical appearance. I haven't seen too much of his work. And we certainly appreciate all the work that John C. Manikus Reilly does behind the scenes, even though he only pops out from time to time to visit us on set. He's so busy back there. We're blessed to have him as we get ready for this great WCW live event. I don't know if they... No, I'm trying to think of when they had the house show in Providence.
Did they run Boston much after a certain point? Like, it seemed like by 99 or 2000, they weren't really coming up here at all.
Boston, I think they ran 4 times. They did 2 Nitros and 2 house shows at the Fleet Center / TD Garden.
Back
building.
at the highest point.
Right.
I love the stage. WCW, I think, in my opinion, had the best stages of anyone.
Really?
They had really cool stages. Halloween Havoc was beautiful. Halloween Havoc.
They would go up and above for Halloween Havoc, you know. What did I do? You know, I'm going to tell little hot. Yeah.
Phil, you're right. John C. is a good dude. The more I've gotten to know about John C., the more I like him.
What if his middle initial was D? Would you still like him?
John D. Reilly?
John D. Reilly, yeah.
Yeah, you got to
John D. Manikus Reilly.
You got to differentiate yourself.
All right, well, I'm sure there's one out there. Can you bring in my bottle?
I also thought WCW had some great logos for their shows. I think the Slamboree logo looks very cool.
Well, you know what? Not for nothing, but they should have had better production values than WWF. WWF was a wrestling company. WCW was owned by Turner Broadcasting.
I think they did have better production than WWF in terms of how the show was shot and they looked. Look at 97 WWF. That looked like shit. It looked very, not shit, but it looked very raw. No pun intended.
No pun intended at all.
But I liked the way WCW looked.
Well, I'm glad. That makes me happy. Bobby Heenan had a nice tan.
He does.
I'd like to know how high Tony Schiavone's seat is. Because I know Tony's kind of a smaller guy, and Bobby's much bigger than you'd think, because he was managing in the Land of Giants. And there, Tony looks like he's got a couple of inches on Bobby.
And Mike Tenay's not a huge guy by any stretch. I think he's an average-sized man.
Well, the professor just probably wanted to head back to Vegas and gamble, but...
I like Mike Tenay. I think he was great.
I thought he had a lot of credibility. I agree with you.
One of the best play-by-play men I've ever seen. Mike Tenay.
Another shame that there's no place for him right now in the world of the professional wrestling, the king of sports.
I think he'd be great in NWA Power.
I like the fact that, not that it has anything to do with this show, that Tom Phillips returned to the broadcast booth last night.
You like Tom Phillips?
He was better than anything else they had at WWE at that point.
Are you surprised Michael... See, to me, he sounds a lot like Michael Cole.
Well, Michael Cole would produce him a lot, so I think a lot of that probably came from him talking in his ear throughout an entire show. But
I mean, I'm not the biggest Michael Cole fan. I don't hate Michael Cole.
No, I hate Michael Cole.
Really? What
As a commentator.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's the worst, but he's not very good.
No, I think his interviews are good. I think his voiceover work is very good. I just don't think he can get over wrestlers, wrestling matches, wrestling moves, wrestling pay-per-views. You know, the things a commentator is supposed to do.
The one time he did
he does have skill, but...
When Mick Foley won the WWF title that first time, and he talked about from sleeping in a Motel 6s, that was a good segment he had.
Yeah.
But that was, you know... I would take a Mike Tenay a million times over a Michael Cole.
A who?
A Mike Tenay over a Michael Cole a million times.
Oh, yeah. Now, this was the infamous Eric Bischoff challenging Vince to a fight.
Who do you think would have won a fight?
WCW pay-per-view.
I think Bischoff would have hurt Vince.
You do?
Vince is a jacked up man, but he's not a good athlete. He walks like a newborn donkey. He's not a very... Oh, there's Doug Dillinger. Could he be the head of NWF security? Doug Dillinger?
No, we had Commissioner Von Johnson for that, but...
So I would say, for me, McMahon McSucks. Is that Phil holding the sign?
Oh, look at that. They even put his face on it.
I would say that in a fight, McMahon would lose to Bischoff. Bischoff is a karate guy. McMahon can barely move around.
Well, you heard about John Noyd talking about the size of his karate trophy.
Who? Bischoff?
Yeah.
Well, he's a bad man, I'm sure.
No, he kind of mocked it.
Oh, really? Well, I meant Bischoff's kind of a bad man, I guess.
John Noyd mocked his karate trophy.
Really? He wasn't. I don't think he was that tough.
He didn't.
And neither was Haku.
No, he claims he took Haku in Japan.
I saw a 6-year-old beat up Haku in the McDonald's parking lot one time.
Do you think he dropped his hotel room key when he fought Haku?
Speaking of fighting, here's Chris Benoit.
No.
Rest in peace. You know, we were talking about this the other night. I was such a Benoit fan. When he died, I was crushed as a young man. I don't know what your thoughts were about Benoit at the time of his death, but before he died anyway, how you looked at him as a worker or as a performer.
I never got his to avoiding the 500-pound elephant in the room. I always thought he was good, but for those that said, oh, he's the greatest of all time, I never got that train of thought.
As an in-ring performer, I thought he was great.
I thought he was very good. He never had a bad match, but there was very little he ever did that was overwhelmingly good.
Well, the one thing
that really made you want to go out of your way to see it. The WrestleMania 20 main event was excellent, but look what he was in there with.
Well, I think in the ring he was just as good as a lot of guys. I think he was just as good as Eddie.
And I think I would never call him one of the greatest of all time.
Well, I know you would say Shawn. You've told me Shawn you think is the greatest in-ring performer. I believe you said that.
Yeah.
And I think Shawn is up there in some ways. I wouldn't call him the greatest of all time because to me Shawn didn't draw shit. But
well, he was in the main event of the highest grossing pay-per-view of all time when he retired the first time.
Oh, you mean being there with Austin?
Yep.
I think they could have put Fit Finlay in there with Austin. They would have drawn.
I don't think they would have drawn the highest pay-per-view in wrestling history.
I would say all-time great performers. If I had to put Benoit up there, I would say he's probably in the top 20 that I've seen. I thought he was exceptionally good in the ring. Was he a good promo guy? Not really. Was he a good draw?
Not really?
No,
That's a bit of an understatement.
No. I just think he was a great wrestler. He had
No,
fantastic
he
matches.
was. He had, but that was about it.
If you're looking at the all-around package, he looked great. Physically, he looked great. And he was a fantastic wrestler to have the best match on the card at any given night. But as a guy to be the world champion of a promotion, I think he could do it, but he wasn't going to be the guy you'd build around. There's very few guys that are ever the guy, and he could be a top guy, but he would never be the guy, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
I mean, I don't think there has been a guy since, I mean, the last megastar in wrestling to me was Rock.
Well, I can't ever think of a time when they'd say Chris Benoit is coming up next, and I'd say, oh, geez, I don't want to see this.
Okay.
Or I'd roll my eyes.
Again, that's no disrespect. Most guys never become huge stars. Some guys become decent-sized stars, but very few become megastars. Even Cena, I never thought he was an actual mega star on the level of a Rock or a Hogan or an Austin. I thought he was just below that.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Easily. You can't even compare.
Yeah. Good run. I think he had a great run. I mean, but I just don't think he was ever in that stratosphere.
Not even close.
No. And I'm sure John Cena Sr. would tell you that, too.
Oh, I think he'd agree with that easily. He's an honest man with an honest piece.
Especially when he tries to sell you his Fabo Pop.
And the hot sauce.
Is he selling mints now, too?
He's got all kinds of stuff for the fans. Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall, Melrose, Massachusetts. Boston Wrestling MWF presents to you Back to the 80s. It's part of Soul Survivor 10, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Berzerker X, and Smash Demolition. More to be announced. Discount VIP packages and tickets on sale now at bostonwrestling.com. As Fit Finlay goes to war with Chris Benoit. Now, John C., are you familiar with Chris Benoit? No. Well, maybe you should Google him. I think some of the information you'd come up with would shock you.
I think this is a good idea for an opening match.
Great opening match. Finlay, an MWF alumni, competed at Memorial Hall. He said he wanted to use his shillelagh on Piggott. I don't know where or how, but...
I was about to say, when you talked about John Cena Sr.'s goods, I was going to say he's selling more candies than Zahorian in '88.
I don't know if he's selling that many, but... he sold a lot of soda on November 13th, I was told. He's got packages that he wants to sell with his hot sauce, his soda, his $1 million bills only autographed and 8x10 photos.
Do you think if he gave Cam Zagami a soda pop and a bit of a truce, they could come together and work out their problems?
Well, I heard that Cam Zagami was so humiliated what happened back on November 13th, he is attempted to go overseas and find an assassin.
Really?
To take out John Cena Sr.
Where overseas?
I don't know.
Could be, I mean, are you sure this is that a credible?
The Orient.
Do you have a credible source?
Yes.
Who's the source?
Him.
Do you think that he would?
Well, his spies have told him that Cam Zagami has been over in the Orient looking for an assassin to take out John Cena Sr.
They've got some dangerous people over there.
Well,
do you think maybe it would be like a ninja or something like that?
could be. Cena Sr. still says he's got one match left in him. I don't know if he's thinking Royal Rumble. I don't know.
Maybe it's Phil DeCesare on a pole match.
I think DeCesare is still waiting for his first match, but now Phil, where were you sitting for this event? Were you the guy in the front row with the Jason Voorhees mask on? Ready to get him in the cabin out on Crystal Lake?
Look at those orange seats. Was it sold out?
I'd be shocked if it wasn't. I remember I had to do a walk the day of this event.
A walk?
A walk, yes.
A walk for what?
A charity.
Oh, how long did you walk for?
How long?
Yeah, or how far?
A couple of miles, several miles.
No. Did you watch the show live at the time or no?
Oh, I was there.
Oh, you were here?
Yes.
Okay. Were you a fan of WCW's product at the time? 97, 98.
By this point, not especially.
Any reason? The end of
the
glory?
creative was so bad. It was impossible to follow. They were still making big money, but you could tell the end was near.
Well, can I just
And
say...
boy, was it near.
Can I just say one thing here?
Yes.
I'm enjoying this match much more than anything from last night.
All right, well, good.
Personally, this is just me.
I think Finley would have fit in ECW.
I mean, obviously Benoit. I heard Benoit, Heyman wanted him to be ECW champ in 95.
Yeah, right around the time he...
But his visa, there was issues with his visa.
Oh, wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute.
Is that an appearance?
It could be. It might be.
I hear the pitter patter of.
The man that continues to try and learn how to use the control room. He was in for 45 seconds.
Hey, what's going
This
on?
brown scally cap that he lost. Give me the water is what I need. I don't need the fist bump.
Oh, you don't need a fist bump?
I don't need
Take
the
back
fist
the
bump.
fist bump.
All right.
Take it back.
Take it back. All right. All right. All right. Well, you know, you could have taken off your coat before we weren't in that much of a rush.
Oh, well, what are you guys watching? What are you watching tonight?
Well, what we promoted last night, WCW Slamboree, 1998.
Do you have a mic?
No, I don't have my gun.
Yeah,
Well,
would you
he's
pass-
really out of.
sorts.
You can get rid of your jacket, your mask, your backpack.
What's in the backpack? Is it some goods?
It's my computers.
You brought a computer with you.
You brought some
In case you-
candies, like
you guess-
Sahorian.
In case he got bored with Slamboree.
Wouldn't
brought his own
Lou get on his computer during the watch-alongs?
Did he? I don't know what Lou would do. He'd just sit there with those bird seed-sized teeth and I got
Andre,
my Vista print hat.
Where's Andre?
He loved Andre. I'm waiting for you to slap the fuck out of him, see? Yeah.
Do you follow him now on Twitter? No, but do you follow him now?
Hold on, right. We have to send out a thank you to our good friend Jammin' McClure, otherwise known as the man, the myth, the legend, Larson. Thank you for your assistance, sir.
Thanks, Larson. What happened?
Wait a minute. Phil says I was shown when Scott Hall was talking to the crowd, and when Scott Steiner was berating us, I was flexing, and he made a funny comment. So we have something to look forward to, I guess.
Were you jacked at this point, Phil? Were you more jacked than Steiner?
Were you on more gas than Charles Wilson?
I'm getting off the gas, by the way.
All right. Well, I
I'm
keep
actually-
hearing that.
Well, I have to wean off.
You're doing it slowly.
I'll probably be fully off the gas by the time we get to Royal Rumble.
All right.
So
Another couple weeks.
So post Royal Rumble, you'll start to see a slimmer me.
When we're with Dutch Mantel, you can explain to him what you're doing. Now, you can kind of put yourself in a little
I'll be
bit.
taking the
'cause I was
last.
kind of far away.
Yeah.
Essentially, from Royal Rumble to about SummerSlam, you'll see a leaner Charlie.
All right. Well, you're going to turn into the
you're
side.
going to be lean.
I'm going to be leaner. I'm not going to be as thick. I won't be as.
You won't be getting those comments.
Yeah,
from
you won't be
the
getting the
fans.
thick comments anymore.
I'll be going from Hogan at WrestleMania 6 to Hogan at WrestleMania 9. We look like a thin hot dog.
Now, what about Manikus Hart? Do you think that you go that small?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I would go that
He's
small.
not going to go this small.
He doesn't want to get down to 5'6".
I might get down to
Wait, how tall are you?
about 5'7.5".
Yeah. Well,
He's gonna be
got an
one-
inch
About
on you.
175-ish right now, so maybe I get down to maybe 155, 160, maybe 160. Like 5'7", 5'7.5".
He's an amazement.
Dan is the tallest one here.
Yes, I think if you
You
added
are not.
everybody up
I don't think you're
together, I'm
5'10".
the tallest.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Maybe you're 5'10" with the big poof, but I don't think you're 5'7".
But the poof isn't that big today.
It's not.
I mean,
He was styling
Dan's a
and
giant
posing.
among us. He's what, 6'1"?
No, I'm 6'3". And then now that I have
You're
shoes
6'3"?
on,
Oh, 6'3".
I'm 6'3" barefoot.
Really?
Yeah, with shoes on. I mean, I got to be at least 6'4".
Yeah.
That's why when he walked in last night, the first time, when he called me Dan Murad, we were eye to eye. And I was sitting he was
Murad.
standing. And I said, no, I think it's next door. And he left.
I actually laughed. I was like, wait, okay, maybe he's somebody else. Because I'm like, this is the guy. I know him.
Yeah,
But
you've
maybe
seen
he has a
pictures of
twin.
him.
I don't
Yeah.
know, next door.
That's that.
I didn't know what to do.
That's Don Murad.
Don
Dan and Don.
The Daily Wrestle wants to know, are those Ugg boots slick, Charlie Wilson?
These are bear paws.
Bear paws.
And they're not very slick, I don't think. But I like wearing them a lot. They're very comfortable. They're my second pair.
Daily Wrestle got a big kick out of our request for John C. to slap the fuck out of Lou.
Really?
Got a big chuckle, little happy, smiling faces.
While you're here, Manikus Hart, do you have any shows that you would like us to watch along with? John C's not a wrestling fan, so he never has any shows he wants to watch.
He enjoys a little bit of everything.
He enjoys everything.
I have a show, but it's 30 minutes, not remotely WWE related.
Okay.
What is it?
It's the German Rumble that I told you about.
Oh, I remember that.
What is
now.
It's this streamer. He did his own like wrestling event, but it's just a Royal Rumble. And it's like half an hour.
I thought you were going to say something like One Piece. We're going to do a review on the show One Piece or something. Okay. You seem like an anime guy. I don't know. I don't know. You strike me as an anime person. That's not a big thing.
Wait, so I mean, of course, the show is WWE related.
No. It could be ECW, WCW. We were talking about if anyone
Actually
wants to.
involve a ring.
Yeah, we were talking about if anyone wants to watch an old NWA TV show from maybe 1985, but I think we might be better off with shows and TV specials. What do you think, Dan?
I tend to agree with that.
We've watched Clash of Champions from WCW. We've watched pay-per-views from all three major promotions. We've done AEW shows. That are. I mean, it depends on what would you want to see.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, like I told you guys, this is not like a major promotion, but I've seen like matches from MLW that were pretty good. I don't know if you guys want to check into that. House of Glory, they have some good stuff.
The potential to check into anything.
Yeah.
We could have. Hard to Kill was a potential show last night.
It's just everyone's got.
Very interesting with all the Ring of Honor run-ins. I don't know if you heard about that. But
Well,
they did like a Ring of Honor invasion.
do you want me to bring in a DVD of Ring of Honor from back
have
in
the
the
DVD?
day? I have Ring of Honor DVDs we could watch.
Don't they have some kind of streaming service?
I don't know if they do. ROH.
I think so, yeah, because Todd gave it to me once, and I don't think I ever watched it once.
Oh gosh. Would you want to review a Ring of Honor show? Or
Why
probably
not?
How would the people watch?
What's that now?
How would the people at home watch? That's the only thing. Because more people might have Peacock.
Well, yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
we're
would
just
have to
streaming.
kind of go out of their way, but. Chris Steves, I agree with you 100%. If everybody was watching, donated $1 or $2 to the Mighty Indiegogo, you know, we'd be inching closer and closer to that
Oh,
goal.
see, that's the thing. MLW's not on Peacock.
That's the thing. A lot of people. I mean,
So everything's like has to be Peacock.
But how many people have Peacock now? I think a lot of people do, and they may not even know it. It's weird. It's a weird.
What do you mean they might not even know
But-
it?
Some people
Chris,
don't even know it.
before I forget,
You
hold
pay
on,
for it though.
You know?
Chris
I pay
Steves,
$5. I'm on like the basic trial, like the basic.
And you have WWE Network with that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So that's
Chris
the thing.
Steves, were you joking when you said you were the winner of the raffle
And the
last
$5,
night?
the
$5
network,
one is with the commercials.
and the network is probably worth the $5 alone, just because of all the
Yeah.
things you have.
And I don't care about commercials, so I'm like, I'm gonna pay $5. I don't have that much money.
You can
to
go take a
do the premium.
take a poop break for the
Yeah,
commercials.
exactly.
Go get some more ice cream.
Exactly.
Whatever you gotta do.
Well, he's got all his
You said
broads
ice cream. You know
over
me,
at
man.
Emerson.
You know me.
The broads. I thought Emerson was actually an all women's college, and I was like, I thought that was someone else.
No, it's
He
not.
thought it was too.
Then
That's
again,
why
a
he
woman
wanted
hasn't
to
come
go.
in the studio in probably ever.
Really?
I've never seen a woman in the studio except Fluffy Guerrero.
Well,
I was gonna say that because Dan told me.
I've heard about Fluffy, but
Fluffy.
It's like the
Wait,
bottom
when am I
of an
gonna meet
Easter
Fluffy?
basket. Huh?
When am I gonna meet
Hopefully,
Fluffy
it's
though?
going to be very hard. She's almost like a ghost. It's almost like an apparition that appears, except in the summertime when those hairs start to come down through down the thigh.
Oh my God.
Just imagine
Fluffy
John
girl.
C's do on a crotch, and that's probably what we'd be talking about.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little
Booker
thicker.
T, you look like you just got out of church or a court.
Well,
Yo,
it was a
literally.
Sunday.
Was this during their best of 7 series or best of 5 they had?
I don't believe so. It's George.
Oh, that was a stiff shot.
George Napolitano getting ready to take a picture.
Did anyone miss Booker T's short hair? Or you think he looks better with the dreads?
He looks better with it. He looks better with the dreads.
Really? You think
Wait,
so?
yeah, I think so. I mean, when I think the first time I seen Booker T, he had dreads.
Or did you like the twists more, the short twists he had for a while? Because at the end of
That wasn't
WCW,
bad either.
At the end of WCW, he starts growing out his hair. By the time he's like a year into WWF, he's got the braids.
But when I started watching wrestling, I watched him with dreads.
Yeah.
So I'm used to that.
Which one are you talking about, Baboon? Are you talking about Charlie Wilson or Kevin Manikus Hart?
What was said?
What was said?
He said, Dan, can you ask the jabroni on the left, does he believe in aliens?
By the way,
don't
do you
know.
like Booker with his mustache, too? Booker shaved his mustache when he got... Yeah, he used to have a mustache. Now he
Oh, I
just
never
has-
really paid attention.
He has a little mustache.
Whatever.
Well, would you have dreads?
I used to.
Really?
Wait, you guys don't know that about me. I used to have
Shit, the
locks.
things we learn on this show.
I used to have locks. And check my. Well, you don't follow me on Instagram,
I don't
but
have
when you
Instagram.
do, you'll see it.
I don't have Instagram.
You
I don't
don't
have Twitter
Instagram?
either. I just search up porn on Twitter. That's all I do. So I don't really sign
How
on.
do
I
you watch
just...
what?
Twitter porn when there's free?
I don't know. I get bored sometimes. All the porn on Pornhub. I go to Twitter
John
for
And they're
C,
sh-
you
but they're
had
short clips, though.
Slamboree
How
on.
do you
That's
do that?
why, because
Good, all right,
it gets to the
at least
point.
you know what we're talking about in some cases.
This guy's funny, bro.
Who gave Finley a title? Well, I guess WWE gave Finley a title, too.
Well,
Philly's
you know,
amazing, man.
Screaming Baboon, I can respect your comments. That's why I allowed them to be shown.
Yeah, but I used to have locks. I used to have locks for like
There's
2
always
years.
the
I cut
Patreon
them-
streaming service.
2021
That helps
last
an
year.
awful
Why did you
lot.
cut them?
I got tired of the maintenance and taking care of it.
see, I'm
I just
growing
wanted
up
something
my-
simple.
I'm growing
These
out my
things are
hair.
not
All the
mine
guys
I'm
have
sick
blonde
of,
hair
but
now, so I figured I'd grow
If
it out. Would you grow it out
guys were
again?
able to enjoy the Marty that we had November 13th, I
Probably
think you
later
would have
on
been
in
very
life, if I
impressed.
feel like it. Right now,
He was
no, I don't
nice
feel
and
like
I
sober.
like this haircut you got. I like the
Appreciate
short
that, bro.
Caesar with the line in the face.
Yeah, I call it my 90s haircut. 'cause
Yeah, your
a lot of people in the
90s
90s
haircut.
had that haircut.
Who?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
people in the 90s, they had this type of
Everybody.
style.
Yeah.
Every-
Yeah.
I call it the 90s.
I had 3 lines.
Would you grow your hair out?
This is about it.
Imagine Dan, have you ever had long hair? I can imagine
No.
you with long hair. Okay, because I can imagine.
I can see Dan with a big, huge man bun in the back. Just sitting
I
I
can
don't
see,
think
I can
I've
see
ever-
that though. I can see that.
Yeah, right?
I don't think I've ever gone more than a month or 2 without a trip to the barber shop. Like my good friend Don the Barber. I'm sure Don the Barber would do a great job with this
can
moss.
see that. Now that
the
you say that with the
specialist
bun.
that Don is.
Yeah. That's gonna be me in a few months with a big bun. on my head.
Yeah, the big
Is
donut in
Lee
the back.
Marshall, the
Yeah.
voice of Tony the Tiger, the cereal
Tony the-
commercial.
Oh yeah, Lee Marshall. Who's the guy next to Jericho though?
Some stuff, I don't know.
Some Bozark, as you
I
say.
want to know, where is Phil DeCesare in this crowd? Are you disappointed that Phil's not here, Kevin?
Yeah, where is he? He's not coming.
He
sick.
said his nose.
Oh, you
was-
did text me that. That's
His
right.
nose was dripping from the
Whoa.
top floor all the way to the basement.
You
was
lying.
going plunk.
No, well,
What?
his nose was dripping. They called him Phil Drip Drip. Hey, speaking of drip, here's Brian Adams with Virgil.
How is it that every time we watch a WCW pay-per-view, we wind up seeing these two?
I wanted to meet. Wait, but go back to Phil. I wanted to meet Phil today, man.
Phil's a great guy. You'll meet him
Well, you know,
again.
we have a little problem that I haven't run by you guys yet, that I didn't learn about until the middle of the afternoon. If we are going to do a Sunday episode, we can't do it on Sunday.
What do you mean
What do you
exactly?
mean? Yeah.
You're going to New York?
No, somewhere else.
What's that? You
A place that isn't New York.
Florida?
You're going to
Potentially.
Florida? You're not going to Miami though.
Due to the contract of the individual I have to go and see, I have to be, not to be confused with that
Dan,
see.
if you're gonna talk to us about a problem, you have to talk to us about the specifics of what the problem
Well,
is.
I
Yeah.
have to go down to
We have
the,
to be in
I
your
have to go to
business.
the Sunshine State
Okay.
Okay.
and visit with someone that has
For business or
certain
pleasure?
business obligations where they cannot be named as part of what the project is.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Well, let me ask you,
Yes, please.
what time are you going to Florida?
I think I leave at like 6 a.m. on Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yes.
Jeez, I was gonna say Saturday,
And
then,
it
but you
doesn't
can't
rhyme
even.
with Treasury.
So we have to do Friday then.
Well, we could do many days, but so I wanted to chat with the gentleman.
what
Well,
do
I
you-
mean, I won't be here. I'll be on Friday.
Well, you're,
like-
yeah, you're basically a Friday or that. What,
Yeah,
what time do you
weekend.
have school on Thursday?
I have a night class. I have 6 to 7:45.
Yeah, all right.
What
well,
about
don't
Friday?
go.
What's your Friday schedule?
Friday. That's what I said. Friday. Like I don't have no classes. So Friday I could be here Friday.
I could probably do sometime Friday.
What
Yeah.
about
Maybe
you,
more-
John
maybe-
C?
maybe
What
Friday
time do you get out
evening.
on
Friday
Friday?
evening works.
I could probably do Friday evening.
Yeah.
8?
What?
8 o'clock at night? They sell rugs that late? What?
He said clean, I think.
You can take the mask off. There's no one in there other than you.
But you, bro.
It's clean?
Ooh.
Oh, you clean rugs
Yeah.
until 8 o'clock. Fuck. Well, sorry. Well, we'll figure something out. We got plenty of time.
Okay, yeah.
This
'cause
match actually headlined, I think.
I'm usually like I'm here for the weekends because of my schedule. Monday.
Everybody's working
Thursday.
for the
So,
weekend.
But no offense to John Cena, but do we need someone? I mean, we know how to do the.
Well, I could always do the booth. Or I could, well, see, the thing is, Fangul. I was going to say I could edit it, but I'm not going to be here to edit because basically we're going to have to take it and upload it right into the computer that night because I'm not going to be here at all
Well,
on
we could do that.
Saturday,
We could do that. Yeah.
All right, we could do that. All right.
And as far as the show, what do you want to do for a show?
Well, we could go with one of those rumbles.
Okay. Are you good with the Rumble?
I'm good with the Rumble.
Yeah,
All right.
he's
What do you
good
want to
with
do?
the
2000?
Wait, we were talking
do
about
Leave
one.
it at your discretion.
So before you had gotten here, I had mentioned Royal Rumbles 2000, 2000. I heard those are very good Rumbles. I haven't seen them. 2000, 2001 were very good. So I just picked those random two. But we could do. I'm really open to any show. I might have favorites, but I'm open to anything. Half the time I'm watching it half and half. You know, I'm talking. So it doesn't bother me.
I would like if we could get more into
Should
the
we
independent
invite Phil
stuff.
DeCesare?
Phil, if you want to come,
What are you doing Friday,
Pretty sure you can come
DeCesare?
Friday.
See,
I think you'll be better by Friday, right?
See, he's busy cleaning rugs.
No, but I was saying I think we should get more like.
Do you think Johnny's going to drop his
watch
piece
more of
off
the
for a
independents,
while?
but it's just the Peacock thing, like
Yeah.
the
well, no,
delivery.
they have stuff on Peacock for independent wrestling. They have like Evolve on there.
I did not see that.
But I don't think anyone, unless.
No, we won't waste our time with that.
What do you mean? You're not a fan of Evolve?
No.
It's not good.
What's wrong with that?
It evolved where it needed to go, out of business.
You don't like Gabe Sapolsky's ideas?
No.
I thought he was a good booker.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
For a sewer rat, yeah.
What's wrong? You need to tell
Well, that's
us
how
this
that's
thing.
how he broke into the industry. He was one of Bad News Brown's Harlem sewer rats at SummerSlam 90.
There's some heat there. Tell us the heat.
Oh.
Brian, you're too good.
Oh, I didn't see that. Fuck.
Certainly was not shades of Jerry the King Law. That's for sure. Jesus,
I
Brian.
like Brian's tribal tattoos on his gear. I like
Not on him, on his gear.
on his gear. I think tribal tattoos are cool.
And look,
Tribal?
look
Yeah.
who the
Yeah,
referee
I think
is.
people make fun of tribal tattoos, but you know what? I've seen enough bitches with live, love, laugh tattoos. I will take the tribal from 2002. I would take Goldberg's generic tribal on my arm than he may be small, but he is fierce. Like I'd rather do that. So
You know, there's some tattoos that I don't get. Like people
you know,
like
it's where there's so
like
much
they'll put like their
time, Chris.
name on.
do you have a tattoo?
No, I don't. I want one though. I want one for my 21st birthday, which is coming up. In a couple
When's your
months.
21st?
April 25th.
Oh, we gotta go. Hey, let's go get matching tats on
I want to get a tattoo, but I don't know what and where. I don't know where.
Well, I don't want to be rude, but is it really going to show up?
Whoa!
I mean, are we going to need like glow-in-the-dark ink? Well,
I was thinking orange. Orange will bring
Orange?
it out. Orange, yeah.
Dan Marati, my Gugine.
Orange will bring it
What
out.
tattoo?
well, it's like Devon Dudley gigging. I mean, what was the point? You really, you know?
I know what you mean, though. But a lot of guys have those.
I'm not trying to
black
be
tattoos.
mean.
What would you get if you were gonna get a tattoo?
I'd probably have something with the kids' initials.
Oh, I bet you'd get like something like with Quincy's initials.
No, you don't go that far.
Quincy.
Oh, wait a minute. What? John
Quincy's
C's
initials,
telling
they put a
people to go to
milk next to, like-
Encore.
Yeah.
You just draw like a little carton of milk like next
What
to
do we
it.
go?
Yeah.
Oh, for
I don't
the-
know. I'd
for his
probably get some
birthday,
like
you mean?
Panther,
Well,
Tiger traditional on my arm.
you know
That's
what?
me. I like that.
I'm going to throw this out to you,
CW.
Charlie C. What if we took Kevin Manikus Hot to Encore for his 21st birthday? That was the
Encore?
suggestion from John C. in the premiere chat.
John C.
Yeah, I
What's
think
Encore?
C's hinting.
It's like they're just a casino.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there before.
I believe it or not, for a man that loves the casino life, and I don't gamble, but I love the casino life.
I'm not
I've
a
never
gambler
been.
either.
I've never been.
See, I'm not a gambler, so I think it's boring. Because I'm not a gambler. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just not a gambler, so I,
I
think it's
agree
boring.
with you, Daily Wrestle. Look at what we're talking
I
about
was gonna
during
bring.
this
I think
war.
we should go to the Chuck E. Cheese, because you could
Well,
still
you
get
could
in there,
probably still fit
and we
on
could
the
get
ride,
pizza, and
yeah.
you could.
And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
You're making that into a joke, but I actually love Chuck E. Cheese. Their
You see?
pizza slaps.
You see?
Their pizza slaps. Chuck E. Cheese has
You know?
really good pizza.
And
Their
you could-
pizza and salad bar?
You could.
That's the only reason why I go.
I could go into the ball pit, and I could put some kid
Yes.
on my shoulders, and you could do Road Warrior hawk, clothesline off the top.
You see, that's a joke to you, but that's actually like
See?
I like that.
I
He's
don't
right
know.
I like
there.
that thinking.
Oh.
It's good thinking.
What?
You said C? I said he's right
Oh
there.
yeah, he's right there. Where did you go for your? Where would you want to go if you were 21 today? If you're turning 21 today.
Yeah, if you were 21 today, yeah.
Well, one of my two haunts, either Vegas or Orlando.
Okay.
When you were 21, where did you go? Or did you go anywhere? Like, did you celebrate?
Back in the year of 2015.
No, actually
What's in
yesterday.
2015?
Remember, he's actually 21, not 41.
Was I in Philadelphia?
That would have been
No,
01,
I would have
right?
been. It was a week before our first event. I don't remember.
You must have been playing your first event.
I remember we were very busy getting ready for the first live event because the first live
Wow.
event was September 28th of 01.
Why did they have? Okay. Why did they have Luger wrestling Brian Adams involved?
They were trying to relive the great feud they had in 94 for Vince. What do you think, C? Are you an encore type of guy?
I've never been.
Oh, so that's why you're
They have,
hitting then.
they have a statue of Popeye in there.
They have a statue.
A statue of Popeye?
Yeah. It's kind of a cool looking statue, but it's weird. It's just random.
I was gonna say also, you can recreationally use marijuana at 21.
I'm not a smoker though.
I like how
He's
C
not a
comes out
man
of
of gimmick.
C comes out of the
smoke
control
that
room
much.
like, I just want to let you guys know you could smoke marijuana if you need to.
to try
It
to
smokes.
Cecil the
It
Lion
calms
about
me
that.
I've
down.
had more drinks than ever like blunts. So, yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch it. What was it all about, C?
I was gonna talk about Luger though. Luger's my tag team partner on 2K19.
Oh, is he?
This
Yeah,
I
he's
need
my
to
tag
watch
partner.
when I
Really?
have a
You
little
like
bit
you
of
like the
time.
Lex Luger?
I like Lex.
I like
Lex
Lex
cool.
too. I think Lex is a bit underrated from especially his
Very
peak years.
underrated. I
Late
like that.
80s, early 90s.
Boston, I'm hoping Quincy Rastani will be back on Thursday soon for Quincy's Wrestling Challenge. Your Super Chats help get him here, I should say, because we got to Uber him. The 78 Honda Matic is off the road until probably late March, early April, right around WrestleMania time.
You know, I have an idea.
Yes.
I have an idea, and I'm not trying to exclude anyone here, so I'm just throwing out an idea. If Quincy is unable to come down for Thursday, look at you smile like a little gargoyle, like a. Look at you. He does this once in a while. He'll smile and he'll just like, well, I'll be next to him and I'll look over and he'll smile for no reason, like just wondering what's going on in that little brain of his. But if Quincy is unable to attend Thursday,
Yeah.
it's an idea, because obviously you said Thursday's not a good night for you,
No.
and I don't know what it is for C. Actually, I'll just say it.
I think C's off on Thursdays.
We might be able to do a watch along Thursday instead. And so instead of we could do Wrestling Challenge, or we could just do another show.
Challenge is pretty quick, though. You got to remember with
Well,
the
we could
all
just do
the
Challenge. I got no problem doing Challenge.
I mean, you'd be in and out in about 45 minutes.
It'd be great. I love it. I love it. Or we could just do a show. It's up to you. That's just an idea.
SMM doesn't know Quincy Rastani. Wait a minute. Matt, let me ask you, how much do I have to pay to get Quincy's shit pile fixed? Do you have a number? Matt, here's the thing. Every winter, he has some some
This
piece
is when
or some
Jericho
part
introduced all the
that he
Cruiserweights
needs to
out,
get
and he made
fixed.
fun of them.
So he goes from
Really?
place to
Yeah.
place, shop to shop. I know one night, I don't know if you were part of the show, but he
Jericho's
was
an
talking
ass.
about these guys in North
don't like
Reading called
Jericho?
the Pirates.
I mean, I love Jericho, but he's an
and
ass.
he
He can be
gets
an
the
ass, but I
pieces
love
that he
Jericho, though.
needs,
Yeah,
Jericho,
and he
Jericho's
spends
cool.
the whole
Jericho's
winter
cool.
fixing
Yeah.
it. Believe it or
Super
not,
Callow. I don't know
even
what
though
this
he's a
was.
little special, he has a great skill when it comes to fixing motorcycles.
Who?
So Quincy. So more
Really?
than he needs the whole thing fixed, he needs particular parts to put it together again.
Hey,
so
Chavo.
he-
I
Yeah,
need,
Chavo?
I need a brake caliper fix. Can Quincy help me with that?
Yeah, that's Chavo.
A brake
Oh,
caliper.
I'm sure.
Really? He knows I do this
He's
stuff?
excellent. He
Really?
actually, before Corona, he worked for a motorcycle shop in Wakefield.
Which one?
The guy's name was Don Hutchinson. I don't know the name of the shop.
What was Quincy
It
doing
was
at a
near the
motorcycle
Slow
shop?
Joe.
I didn't know he worked at a motorcycle shop.
Yeah.
I didn't know he did anything.
Well, it was an under the table thing, just to.
I didn't know
But
he
he
did
knew what
clean-
he was doing.
I have to talk to him about this.
I don't know if he wore his salmon shirt.
Did he clean? Oh,
You know what was the best? He'd go home in the summertime and he'd shower in the clothes. Just to
Why?
get, I don't know why. But there'd be so much dirt on him from the blasting that he'd do, he'd almost look like he'd have raccoon eyes with filth underneath him. So what do we have in here? A multi-person lucha match that I'm sure really got over in Worcester.
well. It's
So,
funny
Matt,
because-
I'm going to guess he
I love
put
cruiserweight stuff.
Hey, Marginetti!
Wow!
Whoa! During his year in WCW.
Why is he in a match with a bunch of luchadors?
But it was a bunch of cruiserweights.
Oh, is that what
This
it
is when Jericho made fun of the cruiserweights, and they had Ciclope come out.
He wasn't a cruiserweight here?
Jannetty, technically, probably. In all honesty, Shawn Michaels was a cruiserweight for a good point of his career. So
He was.
Marty looks very small.
and it's funny because
but
too,
anyway-
back then cruiserweights were what 225 maybe at most.
I don't even know.
No,
who
that would be
guy
like
was.
light heavyweight.
Well, that's what-
225?
That's what they were called though in WCW.
Light heavyweight?
Yeah, in the early 90s
Oh,
they
I
were
thought it
like
was just called
Lenny Lane,
cruiserweight. See, I
yeah.
didn't watch that much, yeah. I thought it was just called cruiserweight.
Psychosis.
Anyway, Matt, to answer your
They were called
question,
light heavyweights. That's good to know. I never knew that.
he probably spends about $500 to $600 per winter trying to refurbish it. There's no way he can buy a brand new 1978 Honda-Matic, but he needs it. There was one winter where he actually hit black ice, and he took the bump of all bumps off of the Rastani mobile.
How long was
He
he out
went
for
head
that?
first. He just pretend these are the handlebars. He just kind of went up and over. And the gallon of milk exploded. There was milk everywhere, we were told. Everywhere there was milk. And Quincy was rolling around in what we called his Bobby De Niro jacket from the movie Casino, waiting for someone to come and help him. And the Honda-Matic was off the road for a little bit for that. But no, I agree with you on that one, Lazy. I don't think Marty was on the gas at all, except maybe to get for the car to get back to the hotel. Is this a battle royal?
Ooh. It looks like a battle royal.
It looks
it is
like a
battle
big.
royal.
Quincy would love this. He loves battle royals. What a schmaz this is.
A lot of battle royals. I saw one of the worst battle royals the other night.
Ooh.
It was from fall. It was a Clash of Champions from 1991, and it was won by El Gigante, Giant Gonzalez. It was the shits. It was so bad. I couldn't tell you how bad this was. You'd have to watch it to see how bad.
Marty's work, I hate to say it, is looking pretty light.
Is Marty? I'm trying to look.
Marty's right there in his singlet.
Okay, I see him.
Who's he wrestling with now? Swainer?
Is that who it is?
Yep, Johnny Swainer's in there, WCW fame. I don't know
Says
who Outrageous is.
outrageous on his tights?
Yeah, who's that? Is that Evan Courageous? Is that Outrageous,
No,
Evan Courageous?
I don't think so.
Billy Kidman looking like a grunge reject?
Daily Wrestle, you know, we can't have the audio on very loud, so I'm a little confused. I need you guys to tell me.
Well, this was
James Quincy is not from Quincy, Mass. He is from Stoneham.
This was so Dan. This was basically to get a shot. The winner of this would get a shot at Jericho's cruiserweight title, and he was basically making fun of them all in the entrances.
Well, there was
That's
a
very
lot to make fun of.
Jericho-esque. Jericho's cool though. Jericho's a legend.
Oh,
You
oh,
wonder
hell of a
if-
bump. for
Some
Swiner.
executive in the back was saying, why are these guys on the payroll?
I don't know if some of them were even on the payroll. They were just brought in for the show, but maybe they all were on the payroll. I don't know. WCW had so many
Why
talents.
is Nick Patrick in the ring?
I have no idea. Jericho looked big here, didn't he? He looked bigger here than he did in WWE.
Not especially.
Yeah, the arms look pretty huge. Unless he just got a nice pump.
No, you're right.
He got the DeCesare pump.
You're right.
No one has the DeCesare
Yeah.
pump other than DeCesare.
DeCesare was jacked back in the day. There's a picture of him
Well,
with
we're
Brock Lesnar.
going to see.
He made Brock Lesnar look small.
We're going to see.
Wait, did Cesare used to wrestle?
DeCesare, well, he for a bud, he was at the training
trained.
school with Killer Kowalski.
Ah.
Yeah,
And
so
apparently tonight he
This
gets a
is why
little
I
heat
wanted
from
to meet him,
Scott
man.
Steiner.
really.
So we're going to have to
Did
wait
you
and
did
see.
you ever go to a training school at all, Dan? Even one day in a ring
To watch or to get
To
trained?
watch.
to get trained,
watch.
even a bump or.
Before a few shows of Tony Rumbles I did, but never at Kowalski's school or a quote-unquote wrestling school.
I think
Quote,
you missed
unquote
your. I think you
wrestling.
missed your calling. I
He
think
has a
you
way
would have
of
been a great
words.
Snitsky type
Love it.
of character.
Really? A
Yeah.
Snitsky? That's where you see Dan Maratti.
Snitsky, you know.
Snitsky.
Maybe he kicks babies. He's into feet. You know. He's got
I'm not into feet, and I wouldn't kick babies.
I think if
so-
Dan was in the industry, like in wrestling, like I think
he'd be Snitsky.
no, I think he would be a good
He'd be a
good
heel.
manager.
Good
Good manager.
I think he's a
He'd
heat
be
magnet.
a
Look
good
at him. You just
manager,
look
bro.
at him and hate him.
He'll be good on the mic. He'll be good on the mic.
You
I
know,
think
look,
I'd be good on the mic, huh?
be good on
you know what's funny about him? He
so.
wears that giant wooden cross that he paid $2.99
I didn't pay
for.
anything for it. It was a gift. This is actually blessed by a priest, given to me by John Cena Sr. to
Well-
try and bring me peace from a man with a piece.
It hasn't been working, has it?
Hasn't been working.
Depends on the day, I guess.
But I love how you have this big cross on, and once in a while you'll even reference it, but you'll say, "Death to my enemies."
Well, I'm
I
not
love
perfect.
it. It's so funny.
I'm not a man without sin, I guess. No, there's just some people I hate. I can't help it.
Bird-sized teeth. Right?
Yeah, he hates birds.
He's up there, believe me.
Hey,
So I'm
don't-
looking forward to my little respite next week, but I don't want to disappoint the fans that enjoy Sunday Night Live. Whoever this guy is in the light blue tights with the thunderbolts is awful.
That's El Dandy.
Ooh,
That's
nice
the
hair
guy
Corona.
Bret
That
Hart
was
was
good.
like, "Who are you to doubt El Dandy?"
This
I
guy
never-
that's still in the ring right
Yep, that's
now
El
with the
Dandy.
sky blue, that's El Dandy?
Yeah. Again, I never cared for Lucha Libre wrestlers because a lot of the work looks light. Oh, that's a
That was. Wait, where's Chavo? Chavo was in there.
Chavo's in the corner.
Cha-
Chavo's in that corner right
Okay,
there.
I see him, yeah.
With Hoovy.
The gasless Chavo.
I thought Chavo looked pretty good here.
This
What?
is just, I mean,
That's
who
a cool-
on earth wants to see this?
Do you think that Phil was
This
looking
might
at
have made a nice skit maybe on Thunder.
I
But
bet you Phil watched
Phil
this and
probably
thought,
wanted to do a run in and kick the shit out of all of them.
listen,
And say, you know what, it rhymes with treasury,
Dan,
Jericho.
I'm telling you, the battle royal that I saw from the Clash of Champions from Fall of '91, it was worse than this.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Lenny Lane's little slaps to the back of Hoovy.
Oof.
And you know, the sad thing is, if you took one or two of a couple of these guys, you could have had one or two really good singles matches that people would have liked.
Oh.
Why would you
That-
do that? That's another thing too. Why would you stay on the top rope? I don't get that. You know.
But that was smart. Like that elimination was smart.
Whoa.
Oh.
Would it be great if that was an elimination right there? He just went over the top rope.
I would have been mad though. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I would have been.
I would have been like, what the fuck?
Man,
Why were
the
you in this
Scott
match to
would have
begin
been
with?
See, what
if
do
you
you
were
think
really
of
gonna
this
do that?
battle royal?
Who is
scene?
this? Damien
Oh.
666 or something like that?
Just get him over the top rope.
Nope. Hoovy.
What do you think,
Oh.
see?
Out of like the 20-odd people in it.
You know, I'm not liking this battle
It's
royal
too
as much
much?
as I thought I would like it.
Too much for you?
It's a little overboard.
Yeah.
I will
you
say they
shrug
keep
your
it. They're going
shoulders.
I
quick.
feel like the eliminations
going
are
quick.
like, what the fuck?
They were all good, really. Well, you liked it a lot more than I
Like,
have.
these
so far.
eliminations are not it.
He's out now.
If
Dan's
they
favorite
were
is
all
out.
good. Okay,
There's so
well,
many people who look like they're just on break.
exactly. There's not a lot of action going on.
I feel like these
It's very
eliminations
light.
could be a lot better.
I like John C's observations.
What do you say?
What do you say?
He said it didn't look all that realistic to him. Whoa!
That's how I feel too. Like,
Now, have you talked to your Instagram group, huh?
me, no, I haven't had a chance. Oh, wait, no, I'm lying. I did. I talked to them last night.
Yeah,
I
what
wanted
did
to
they-
meet with them this week.
And what did they say about what you've been up to? Were they jealous? Did
They probably will be like when I come out with it and everything.
Oh, you're going to come out?
Are these real people?
No, they're real people, yeah.
Okay.
They're
Well,
real people.
we think.
No, well, see, the reason why Dan's saying that because I've never met any of them.
Are they a bunch of neck-bearded marks? They're like,
Nah. they're
Is it like AEW?
No, they're not like that. I mean, they do watch AEW, but they're not like that.
No offense, Dan, to someone with a beard.
How many of them are in this club again?
Oh my
Oh my God! What was that?
What is
You
that?
see what these eliminations?
Nope, and Hoovie's gonna probably
Am I the
eliminate
only one
Kidman
who thinks
right
these
there.
eliminations
Oh,
suck?
see, that actually is a good elimination. That's a good elimination right there.
We're
That's
down to the final two, ladies and
the
gentlemen. Who's
juicy
it gonna
one and
be?
Ciclope.
But going back to the group, Dan, I'm gonna meet with them this week, and I'm gonna talk to them about that.
How many are in it?
It's like, let me see.
Would you like to see the
It's
juice
like
in this
treasury.
chair?
Huh?
The juice in this chair, the juicy one. He's a bit of a dick, but
I always enjoyed his work.
He's a-
Again, I think
he's a small man. I know
it
that.
would be. I think it would be limited, and I think we might have a bit of a language barrier.
How many episodes could you get out of him? That's the thing.
I don't think he'd be a regular.
I think, it'd be like 4 episodes and then he's gone.
It's 7 of us.
There's 7 of you.
7 of us.
Do you think you should invite John C. Manikus Reilly? Or do you have to go to Emerson?
What do you mean?
Do you think you should invite him in
Invite him in?
to this group?
Yeah. I mean, if he's down. Yeah.
Do you trust him?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, you have to understand. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. It's the man of 1,000 holds.
And he has no emotion. Huge pop for him, has no emotion at all. That's what I didn't like about this.
They're going wild in Worcester.
Okay,
DeCesare's
Jericho could have
veins
sold
were-
this a
were
lot better. He
popping.
looks like he's having a seizure. Like, look at the way
But
he's
look at
selling this.
little Malenko not really doing much. He's just,
But
stone-faced.
Jericho looks like he's having a seizure. Like, he's just like...
Yeah. Also, yeah, a little bit. I also thought Dean Malenko, good worker, but didn't, kind of overrated in my opinion. What do you think, Dan?
He was fine. He never, there was nothing to me that ever said, "Oh boy, I can't wait to see Dean Malenko tonight." He was
definitely-
always solid. He was always
Definitely the weak link of
you
that
could
group that
rely
came
on him
over.
to have a good match, but
Out of that group that came over, the Radicals,
Radicals, yeah.
he was the weak link of the
Oh,
first.
yeah.
He was really good friends with Benoit, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But compared to Eddie and Dean and Perry, he was not
Like,
in there. I thought those guys were better,
oh yeah,
oh.
I think Perry Savage should have had a better WWF run, but, man.
he was his own worst enemy.
I don't think you ever got over that Kowloon snub either.
Well, that was after he was dead in WWF.
Was that, what, 04, 05?
No, 01.
Really? That soon he was, no, I can't. What year was Moppy? Was that 01?
Yeah.
Did you like the Moppy
No,
angle?
no, I didn't.
Would you want to do something
I
with
was
that,
not a
John?
fan with Moppy.
I had an idea for John Cena
Wait, we
Sr.
missed that whole... Wait, yeah.
I had
You
an
could say
idea.
that his piece was Moppy.
I had an idea that he would come out with an object and he would be into it, and then Cam would break the object and they'd go to war.
Well, I want to know who this assassin is that Zagami's digging up.
Oh,
over
we
in
haven't
the
told you
Orient.
about Cam Zagami, have we?
No.
He's a little bit of a weirdo.
Oh, God.
He
He's
may
a little-
have impure thoughts about Kevin Manikus Reilly.
Do you think he would?
I think he would.
I don't know if he's your type. If you're his type,
Well, he said he liked Hershey bars. I
I
don't
hope
know.
not.
I think he likes the big Hershey bars.
I
No
don't know.
offense.
The big horse...
No
Yes,
offense.
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a big one. So.
We'll have to wait and see.
Well, but do you have any evidence that he likes the Hershey bars, the big ones,
Well,
or is it a feeling?
call it a hunch.
Hunch?
Call it a hunch.
Have you been involved in a hunch before?
No, I've not been involved in that hunch by any stretch of the imagination, but he is headed or has been over to the Orient looking for someone to take out
Wouldn't-
John Cena Sr.
What- do you keep
I
it-
don't know why you'd need to go all the way to the Orient
There's a lot of tough
to
people
find
around
someone
here.
to take out
You couldn't go to
John
South
Cena
Boston
Sr.
and find a tough person? Do you think that have you talked to him at all recently? Did you keep in touch with, what do you consider?
Before he left for the Orient.
What did he say? He wants to find someone.
And
John Cena Sr. dropped him like a bad habit on the
Oh.
13th.
we're going to be seeing it on NBC 10 Boston.
Really?
Yes.
When did that happen?
Relatively soon. They just got the footage.
Why would they show it now?
They're doing a I hate to say it, a piece
Peace.
on the event in John Cena Sr. And
They could be in the piece.
certainly not.
Certainly not.
No.
Will you be allowed to attend April 16th?
I hope so.
It's the farewell, right? Potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking for fine venues near and far. I know
Great venue.
Phil DeCesare has lined up 7
There's an
venues.
NWO license plate from New Hampshire.
7
I did
venues
not
he's
even see
lined up
that.
for us in central Massachusetts.
What is it, sorry?
DeCesare.
The Scissor is what?
He said he's lined up 7 fine venues for us in
Oh.
central Massachusetts.
How many people, which homes are those of the
I don't
residents?
know.
7 venues. That might be a Chuck E. Cheese
Phil,
right
where
there.
are they? We need to know, brother.
That might be a Chuck E. Cheese. And
I'm down with that.
I think there's some nice venues here. You'll be a great venue, but it's not open anymore. Revere.
That one, yeah.
What's that?
That one, yeah.
I was gonna say in Revere, the Wonderland.
That's where we had our first live events ever.
Wouldn't that be a great place to go back to?
The other thing I didn't like about it were the big poles. Made it kind of difficult to see from certain vantage points.
Oh, like it's like if you go to Wrigley Field and you got
Lines.
that big pole right there. Fenway Park's got
Fenway's
that.
got them too.
Yeah. You can't sit behind
Fenway
them.
Park. I'm hearing that name a lot. I need to go over there. I need to go to
Charlie,
Fenway Park.
wait a minute, hold on one second. Charlie,
Because I always
Marty
go to
said
the
he
Boston
wants to
Common because I
punch
live
you.
right across.
Who?
Marty.
Marty who?
I'm going to guess Janetti. I don't
Pinch
know of
me
any
or
other
punch me?
Marty. Punch.
For
Oh,
what?
no, I'm sorry, pinch.
Yeah, he
I read
pinched
it
me
wrong.
before.
He still wants to, apparently.
Is it hard to get to a high school? Like in terms of booking a high school building for a show?
Well,
Like Melrose High, Wakefield High,
they
Stoneham
have
High?
so many athletic events that go on
But for one night.
and practices and so on. It's not impossible, but Have Chavo for cyber. I don't understand what you mean by that.
A cyber
Kevin,
signing?
you are correct about that as far as Moppy. I don't know if he means a cyber interview or a cyber signing, or sometimes if they're not complete sentences, I get
Hey, love that.
Pronouns, pal, as Vince McMahon would say. You know, I know you mentioned, Dan, and maybe I should. A certain mall near us might have a building that's opening up.
Yeah, well, we don't need to talk about that.
Well, I'm just saying maybe
Well,
that could be.
it's the reason to put it out there, so.
Well, I'm just saying that's why I said it was very vague about it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The slap. Stephanie has better slaps though.
Medford could be an interesting place.
But that all I'm referring to is you think that could be a possibility.
Anything could be a possibility in any city at any time. But I think in honor of Reno Chastain, Medford would be an interesting place.
Is that where he's from, Medford?
Medford, Mass.
So when Quincy goes to Medford, is he reminded of Reno?
I don't even know if Quincy realizes that he's from Medford. Don the Barber, Quincy is on Green Street in Stoneham right now. He's off the bike right now for the winter, so with him navigating down to the studio is a little difficult for him.
Could we have a show at Quincy's house?
No. I
Would Eleanor
do
not
not
leave the
believe
back?
there's internet access at the Rustani residence.
Would Eleanor not leave
Let's
the back door
go.
open for us?
I'm sure she would, but it's almost Adams-like, I was told. The
What's up
Rustani
with the
manor.
pin? Let's get the pin.
I don't know if it was you, but someone researched the Rustani home.
I did.
And you noticed the big sign that says
Rastani.
Rustani. On Halloween, I almost want to go and steal it.
For what?
Spray it down here and put it on the set when he's not here.
And they'll see it and he'll...
Say, Quincy, you won't believe what Reno took and dropped off here at the studio. He's a demon.
He's a demon. He's sitting on that clover.
There we
leaf.
go.
Dan, you should ask, why would you want Stevie Ray in the studio, Lazy Bum? What can I talk to Stevie Ray about?
Your brother's career was great.
Why did you make more than Ric Flair, Stevie?
He did?
Yes,
In what year?
towards
98?
the end.
Well, he did more on that show than Flair did in some ways.
Stevie Ray?
Yeah, they used him
What the fuck did Stevie Ray
He
do?
was a commentator.
And you think that justified him making more than Ric Flair?
Yeah, he wrestled too. What did Flair do? Flair was in a loony bin for half the year, wasn't he?
Oh, Mamma Mia.
Flair.
January 22nd is going to be lit. David Shand is ready for the meeting of the minds when John Nord and Quincy Rustani come face to face live in this studio.
They're going to be there together?
January 22nd.
That's a Saturday, correct?
That's the Saturday night with
But
Nord.
Quincy doesn't come on Saturdays.
He's going to have to find a way for this one.
You
we
want him
can't miss. This is one that's like, it's like Godzilla and King Kong.
How are you going to make sure he gets here?
I don't even. If I have to go on a motorcycle myself and get him, I will.
Oh, gosh.
We need Rustani and Nord. The fans will. I don't know if they'll ever be the same.
How would those two
This
get
could be
along?
the greatest show in the history of anything we've ever done.
Oh, around
You don't think so?
I think it's interesting.
The Nord and Rustani.
I just don't want Nord to hurt Quincy if they have a dispute.
You think they'd have a dispute?
They might have a dispute about something.
About what?
Maybe someone ate the last bugle.
Wow. David
Bugles and
Chance
milk.
is a
Was
bigger
that the combination?
crossover than
Yeah. Bugles and
Spider-Man
milk.
No Way Home.
What's that?
He said, David Chance said it'll be a bigger crossover than Spider-Man No Way Home. Rustani and Nord.
That's literally a Batman versus Superman, isn't
Will
it?
Al Snow be jealous?
Of Nord?
His best friend with John Nord.
I wonder what they're doing here. This looks so cool.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Cage match.
Okay.
Phil, where were you at this
love me a
point,
good cage
brother?
match.
Phil was on top of the cage going, It was high on top of the cage. I love Phil so much. Dan, tell the people how much I love Phil.
You really do.
I really care. I love Phil. He's
You're
such a
ready to
breath of
move
fresh
to
air.
Worcester.
I'll be honest with you. I was
And I
ready
don't
to.
even know if he lives there.
I was ready to quit this show, and then Phil came by, and I was just.
Really?
Yeah. I
You were
was.
does Phil
mesmerized
look?
by Phil.
I was
How does Phil
mesmerized.
look?
Phil looks
You guys
kind of
have a
like,
picture?
did you ever see the movie A Quiet Place?
Yes.
He looks like the lead actor in that.
The dad.
Yeah,
Oh, he looks like him?
yeah.
He's a scruffy gentleman. He's great. He's distinguished. He's got some grays. But he's in good shape. He's a nice guy. I love Phil.
Like the Vinnie Mac cam. Was that C? Oh, all right. Parking only $5. It's a bargain by any stretch.
What was Mark Madden doing here? Mark Madden. Excuse me. Doug Dillinger.
He wanted to see if that was Vince's limo.
Oh, you guys know I got home good last night, but the train ride, breeze.
Yeah,
easy.
45
Breeze.
minutes.
It was a breeze. Yeah.
Now, who's this? I don't recognize this guy.
Who's this
Oh,
Bozark?
C's coming out to enjoy a little Slamboree.
Hey.
He had a Slamboree last night at, we won't give away his address, but
Unlike Quincy.
there was some slamming going on. Is that true?
No.
It's not what your neighbors said. They called down here and said, can you let him stay a little later? Phil said, thanks, Charlie.
Slamboree.
Phil, you're welcome anytime.
Lazy Bum says Stevie Ray has a really good podcast. Lazy Bum, I don't think Stevie Ray had any talent in anything that he ever did. I didn't like his
Diamond
wrestling. I didn't
Dallas.
like his commentary. He certainly wasn't Booker. Well, the thing is, Lazy Marty is very
Yes,
good when
DDP.
he's sober.
One of my favorites, DDP. Look at the face, Dan. You couldn't hide your feelings if you tried. You always have to show these weird faces and make.
What was weird about my face?
You did one of these, This guy, I love DDP. I thought he was great.
Yeah.
And he was over. He had a personality. He was one of the only few homegrown
I think
stars.
Mrs. Bischoff was the one that felt the bang. But
Hey, I think Mrs. Bischoff would have felt the bane from anyone in that position. Eric's friend.
any neighbor, you mean? Or?
Any neighbor, maybe. Maybe she was like that. Would you ever have baned Mrs. Bischoff?
I wouldn't really chase down another man's wife, but she is a very beautiful woman.
See, there you go.
I'm sure, especially when she was younger, she really must have been.
Was her
Eric
name
did
Lori?
well for himself. Yes.
Lori Bischoff?
Yes. Well, Lazy Bum, it's nothing against the man as a human being. It's just as far as his talent goes. I didn't see him as one that possessed great talent. Can you name me a good Stevie Ray match?
Well, you had Tony Atlas in here for years. He didn't have amazing matches.
He was at least the top guy for years.
Where? In the,
WWF? Georgia?
I'll give you Georgia. WWF, I think he was more of a mid-card guy.
No, he worked on top. I mean, he may not have been world champion, but I mean, you got to remember, there were multiple shows per night.
I wish you one time you said, special guest, Saba Simba. That would have been more funny. Would Raven be a man that you'd want in the studio?
I don't think he'd take it serious.
See, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing if it's good, entertaining humor.
I want history.
He'll probably give you that.
Don the Barber, Kevin Nash is expensive to the point, not to the point where it's a definite no, but it would be a challenge. I'd love to have Kevin
I
Nash.
would love to see Kevin.
I will have always fond memories of my late night talks with Kevin Nash on the phone with him drinking wine.
Why did those stop?
The promotion that we both got conned into fell apart that I mentioned one time.
But you guys just stopped talking because of that?
Well, he didn't want to talk to me when he was drinking his wine anymore.
Maybe.
I
You hurt
lost
his
my
feelings.
friend. Well, I mean, it was more than his feelings being hurt with the amount of money that he lost out on.
Is there a wrestler that you've become great friends with to the point where it's like, wow, we'll even talk after our business is over?
Probably Paul Bearer. The Sheik before he turned into kind of a recluse. I would have thought that about Tony, but it is what it is. Demolition I talk to often.
Are they different in personalities, Darso and Edie, or are they kind of the same kind of guy?
They're both good men, honest men, people with character and integrity. You know, they kind of come from different generations where there's such a big age gap between the two of them.
Because there's probably like a good 10 years between them, right?
More.
More than that?
More, yeah.
Because I think Barry comes from that Minnesota generation of those guys born in, what, the late 50s, early 60s.
Barry's in his early, if he did not just turn 60, right around there.
I think Barry's probably, if I had to guess, he's just north of 60, if I had to guess.
He'd be a good guess. And Bill is, you know, a few years into his 70s, so.
Oh.
Well, Lazy, I could only go by the Kevin Nash that I know, and I liked him an awful lot in my interactions with him personally, as opposed to, you know, things I saw online or secondhand stories. Road Dogg you have to remember, Boston, is an MWF original. I would love to have Road Dogg back with us.
Also, maybe one of Bo Douglas's favorites.
Yeah, well, they held the tag team championship on 2 separate occasions.
Would you like to maybe they would like to rejoin?
I don't know about that, but. Well, the Patriots, looks like they're in the playoffs. I just got the little email. They lost to Miami. Oh.
Ooh.
Are they in the playoffs, though?
Oof.
You must be happy about that, Kevin Manikus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did Miami get in?
I don't know. I don't really follow football myself.
Me neither.
Yeah, usually.
And the Dolphins, they be the Patriots?
Looks like it's either going to be Buffalo or Cincinnati.
Ooh, that was a clothesline right there.
If the Chargers win, they'll finish number 5. Not that we're not going to talk football, but just out of
let's
curiosity
talk about a real
to
sport,
me.
pro wrestling.
I'd like to see the Patriots play the Bills again, another division team, but we'll see. Any New England fans out there interested in what the Patriots are going to do? As we watch this hellacious steel cage match.
Craig's asking why you didn't mention Cena Sr. in your long list of people you'd talk to in retirement.
Well, I'm sure Johnny and I will speak. I just didn't.
How about Cam Zagami? And were you guys
No,
ever tight friends?
no, I would not go that far.
Damn, that rope, though.
Do you think he liked you more as a friend?
He's just a bizarre individual.
More bizarre than anyone here?
Bizarre.
I think we got some bizarre people in this room.
He's
I
a
mean,
very
between the three of
bizarre
us.
human being.
Bizarre. I like how you say bizarre.
You like how I say bizarre?
Bizarre.
Bizarre. It's like when you get out of the car last night and you went, yeah.
I said that? I said
You
like
went,
that?
yeah.
I'm turning into Dan. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love the way he talks because it's so different from anyone else. Like
Right.
he'll be driving me. He'll be like, "Look at this Bozak over here."
Bozak. Like nobody says that but Dan.
Yeah, we'll go through the salad office. He's like, "Yeah, tell the broad I want."
Dan has his own lingo, bro.
we actually almost got some heat with the broad.
Well, that was all because of you,
That
not
was
me.
me. I got some heat, and I'm usually very nice to service people because of the jobs I've had. But I decided.
What kind of service are you talking about?
Oh,
Wait a minute.
Service.
Well,
What kind
Yeah,
of
Charlie's
service-
usually nice to the plebeians below his foot.
I really am. Yeah, I really am. But I was trying to make
He's
him
just
laugh.
nice in general.
We were making some jokes, so I decided to do an impression for the young lady in the drive-thru.
Who were you doing?
And I imitated a laugh, and then she laughed back in the same laugh.
Imitating the laugh.
And I said,
Going, "Ah."
and Dan looked at me and said, "Great, my food is now going to be spat on." It was. Is
I
there
wasn't as amused as I was a few minutes before.
thankfully, we won't be going to salad office for another week or so, or is that a lie, Dan?
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. So.
Potentially, the electricity could be off. We'll have to wait and see. At the end of the day, it could be up to Kevin Manikus Hart,
Left up to
the
me.
hitman. The hitman.
The hitman. The hitman.
The hitman.
You were the
47.
last heart child.
I was.
Yeah.
Someone
They
asked.
thought it was Owen.
Stu was
From-
like, hey,
wait.
he's a little darker than the rest of them.
Actually,
Hey, is this one from heaven?
somebody
He
from
got Jackie Moore in some
I
closet.
forgot who it was, but someone from
He
the
had
last
to
from the
have
live stream last night.
Oh, so disgusting.
They asked if I was trained by Stu Hart.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot who it was.
Who asked? Whoa.
I know a couple holds.
Who asked you if you were trained, or if you were
Someone
a
in
hot?
the chat from the live stream last night. It's on
Where
the chat.
was I?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know. All right.
Flashback? I don't
Yeah, sure.
Was Kevin trained by Stu?
Was I trained by Stu Hart?
Oh, well, the Daily Wrestle just asked.
By the way, speaking of last night, to make myself laugh today, I was doing some stretches for my shoulder, and I decided to listen to the podcast, the video from last night. And I went to the part where we talk about Quincy's tweets, and I could not stop laughing.
Why?
Because I was
Rereading them again?
rereading them again made me laugh, and then the reactions. I think there was one I missed that said, "Jesus Christ, Al, I miss you."
Wait a minute. Mike Burke Coffin said, "Hey, Kevin Manikus hot." I guess he's trying to get your attention.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Mike, do you have a question for Kevin
Yeah.
Manikus? Not to be confused with John C. Manikus.
So I think Mike Burke Coffin. Mike, are you out there? Because I think, so Captain Lou had told me that
He has birdseed sized teeth.
Captain Lou had told me that he was that Dan's fans are crazy and they're going to be threatening me. And he said, read the comments. And I think it was Mike Burke Coffin that wrote, quote, "Fuck Lou." And this is what he was afraid of. And I was like, I think so. Mike Burke Coffin, if you're out there, you were real threatening. You need to tone it down a little bit, buddy.
Own it.
I wish you guys would all go to his birdseed sized website and just leave him a message that says, you know what? You and your work suck, and your teeth are the size of birdseed or small rice.
Hey. If you're getting married, though, if you're getting married and need someone who needs to be a photographer at a wedding, he is doing weddings.
I can literally see the rice though.
He's doing weddings. I think he's charging $2,000 a wedding or whatever it is.
Do you think his teeth are as soft as rice?
Don't get the audio package.
What's that?
So don't get the full audio package though.
No, not the audio package. AML stands for the audio is missing or lost.
Audio is not included in the package price.
So wait a minute. He said, are John C. and Kevin related? Well, no, they only share the same middle name, Daily
Yeah.
Wrestle.
How come I'm not a man?
You cannot be related by a middle name, as far as I know.
Why didn't you not give me the name of Manikus Wilson? Am I not worthy of the Manikus title?
Do you want to be a Manikus?
No,
Oh,
not at
all right.
all.
I think at this point it's already a little
We have enough
ridiculous.
Manikuses.
I think I will call you Manikus Murad if you want me to.
Murad.
Murad, Manikus Murad.
Billy Silverman with the ref bump off the trash, his head off the back of the trash can. LMFAO, birdseed.
Who wrote that?
Mike Burke Hoffman.
It's funny.
Don the Barber, 2K's not bad for a wedding, but it's Lou.
Well, if you saw the pictures,
No, his photography.
he goes to Target and gets a few Kodak fun savers.
Well, to be fair, from what I've seen, his photography, and actually I've said this to him, I would forget the media corporation, just be a photographer. You'd probably be better off with that.
if the pictures
Were
I've
his.
seen are actually his still photography work isn't bad. Anything
I mean, it
else
isn't
is
terrible,
like
but-
piles of dog shit come to life.
I just look at it like, maybe I'm wrong, but there's a million photographers out there to the point where it's like you could probably go to someone else and get just as good of a product for the
From
price.
someone far more experienced and better,
With
and
better.
that doesn't have a $5 Vistaprint hat.
I wish he showed up with the hat.
I wear my hat. My mother said it was okay.
Wait, does he really talk like that?
Yes.
I love him too. I
Slightly
liked,
exaggerated,
great.
but-
I liked hanging out with him.
Yeah, he's a
But you know what?
blast.
I didn't get to meet his mom or his dad. I didn't get to meet
You
Pa
never met
Lou.
the Lowe's.
I never get to meet Mom and Pa Lou.
Now, here we talk about a little overbooking.
Is that Van Hammer?
Yeah.
I like Van Hammer.
Getting his revenge on
I wouldn't want to be a
Raven's
small
flock.
child on the road though, because he'll.
I think he
Look at that
was
nipple
trying to
ring
get
he's got.
Trying to resemble Phil's build.
Look at that nipple ring.
Now we got someone again that's going to come out from under a mask for the second time tonight.
Oh, happy.
What are the security guards there for with the masks
I think one of them is a wrestler.
Matthew Holland wants us to wish former President Richard Nixon a happy birthday.
Dick Dixon, brother. Salute. Where's Quincy? This is BS. Well, I have to stress that Quincy will only be here on Thursday. Well, outside of his joining John Nord on January 22nd.
We don't know if we can book him
When
for
we
that
see
exactly.
Quincy, it'll only be Thursdays for Quincy's Wrestling Challenge. But the challenge, we have no pun intended, is that Quincy's bike is off the road in the winter.
Who's that? Kidman and who else?
Quincy doesn't
That's
come
some
cheap,
really
you know.
nice kicks. You're not.
He
Oh,
doesn't
is that
come
Horace
cheap.
Hogan?
He
That's
needs
Horace
an Uber,
Hogan.
yeah.
We got Kidman and Horace Hogan in the ring.
I mean, how many times in one show are you going to do security guards
Oh!
and random people under masks?
This wasn't a very...
Don the Barber wants to meet Quincy. Don, how come he didn't come to the show on November 13th? He was with Phil. You could have got 2 for the price of 1.
Oh, that's a cool
Oh.
spot.
I thought it was going to be a powerbomb, actually.
You jabronis putting down DDP.
I love
Obviously
DDP.
don't remember or wasn't born yet.
I love
I was
DDP.
born for DDP, and I wasn't a huge fan of
Yeah,
his.
wasn't I putting over DDP at the beginning?
You
of this?
love DDP.
I thought DDP was great. I had a beach towel with DDP, Sting, and the NWO on it. And Goldberg.
Now, what about Manikus Hot? Were you a DDP guy?
Not a big fan, but
No.
he's cool.
You weren't a big fan, but he was cool.
You weren't even born yet. Well,
I mean, I know about DDP, though. Like, I've
Do
seen
you
him in the
think
ring.
you could give him a diamond cutter?
I think
Or do you think he'd have a hard time with Manikus Hot?
you have to lower him down. If you came off the rafters like Adam Lou going after someone with regular-sized teeth, you know what's funny is I thought of you leaving the studio at night, and Adam would be on top of the landing outside. He would jump on you and go with his small teeth,
But see, if he jumped off the roof,
like a wombat.
no, it would be like, you ever see like in the wintertime when like a plastic bag from Shaw's just kind of blows in the wind?
Oh.
That would be like Lou. He's not heavy enough.
I had this, by the way, I was laughing hysterically because I didn't message you this. I want to tell you in person. Imagine
Yes.
you and I driving down the road, you're in the passenger seat, and I say, I got to get some gas. And you go, okay, get your gas. I get out, I'm fiddling with my card or whatever, trying to get the gas, and you see Captain Lou filling up his Oomobile, the Lou-mobile, that doesn't belong to him, and he's filling it up. And you get out of the car, and he just gets so scared, he drives away with the pump coming out of the canister, and he ends up going into traffic, and he gets hit because he doesn't look, he's so freaked out. And I know you would walk over, he gets out of the car, he's a bloody mess, and you'd be like, you motherfucker! He's half dead, you probably would yell at him, and I'd be laughing hysterically from the side of the road, but... Not as
I don't
painful.
know if I'd be that cruel, but I'm not saying I'd be sad.
You'd be laughing as he gets out of the car, assessing his damage. I know that.
Mike Burke Coffin will take out Lou for us. It
No,
looks like.
do
And
not
his
write that.
bird-seed-sized teeth.
Don't
not-
say that.
Do not write that.
Send it to his website.
Do not say that.
Daily Wrestle. I don't think Kevin Nash was booking yet. I think Nash was 99.
Yeah, Nash was like early 90, a little after Finger Poke of Doom.
Nat Karcher agrees. I was born and he sucked. His phony Nirvana theme song.
That was the song of the 90s. That's what he wanted.
Split?
I think DDP.
You know what? Question mark, I'll agree with you. When DDP gave Hall and Nash the diamond cutter, he got a monster pop over that. And I agree with you, Phil. I think he's a decent human being. He's just too much. He ruined the Cauliflower Alley Club one year.
What do you do?
I don't want, because in case it's someone I like, I don't want to knock them too much. But someone came up with the idea where on the first night, which
You
are
don't
kind of
knock him. Just knock
the
him.
B Awards.
You'll knock me if I come up with a stupid idea.
The B Awards, they gave him the Humanitarian Award.
Yeah.
Then on the A night, the next night, they gave him a Wrestling Award. So he made almost 2 identical speeches that just fucking went on forever and forever and forever and forever. And he ruined Beth Phoenix's speech. He
You don't even
ruined
like
Jerry.
you don't even like Beth Phoenix.
No, back then I tolerated her. She ruined Jerry Briscoe's speech. No one wanted to hear him twice.
Wait.
Back-to-back nights going a half
Wait,
an
what's your
hour.
take on Beth?
Huh?
The Glamazon. What's your take on the Glamazon?
Terrible commentator. Horrible commentator.
How about as a wrestler? Fair?
Great wrestler,
For a
though.
female woman's wrestler, fair.
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 I know you're more of a Candice Michelle man, probably.
No.
Oh, Candice.
I know.
Candice.
Or Stacy.
It's you know what, I'll type the link in for you,
My
Mike.
favorite female wrestler is
WW
probably Eva Marie.
I'll tell you that. She is
I'm
much
not
better
gonna
looking in
I'm not gonna
person.
respond to that.
She is much better looking
I'm
in
not gonna
person
respond
than
to that
she
comment.
is
Eva Marie?
in Eva Marie.
She makes me
Wait a
not
minute,
like
who's-
Sure and Eyes anymore.
Oh, no.
She fucks
I'm
up
thinking
Sure and
of...
Eyes.
Who's Sure and Eyes?
Sure, of the finishing of the Sure and Eyes.
Sure and I? Oh, the thing with the...
Yeah.
and
At
you
the
go
back
up.
and you go on the rope.
Oh.
And she makes me hate this.
Brian
there
Kendrick had a cool one.
Is there a
Yeah.
dash in Creative?
There might be
It's
AML.
AML-creative.
Thank you.
Do you follow him on Twitter? No? Do you follow AML?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't posted it. He hasn't tweeted anything.
No, but do you follow him? Like, do you follow his site? He has AML Creative.
What do you mean?
Quincy had more followers than AML Creative. And Quincy hasn't been on Twitter since 2014. No, because I thought Dan told me that you
Yeah, here
found
it
him
is.
on Twitter.
He
and
did.
He's got 4 followers, and you said you follow him now.
Yeah, I followed him and he immediately followed back. He hasn't tweeted anything.
But are you still one of his followers?
Yeah. what-
Okay. All right, just wondering.
I don't get what you're asking me.
I didn't know if you're still following. That's all
He's
I know.
got
You still follow him.
JTG on here. He's got a
JTG?
live event at Memorial Hall with the wrong time,
What was the time?
8 o'clock.
It's not that far off.
Let's see.
AML Creative was founded by Adam Manikus Reilly.
Oh, okay.
AML.
Apparently, he did
A
tweet 5
graduate
days
from
ago.
UMass Amherst who saw a wave of new creatives arising amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. With his degree in finance, Adam understood that this creative industry is a business and it takes more than just talent to
Wait, did
succeed.
he switch from first to third person?
Huh?
Did he switch from? Wait. Did he
Yes.
refer to himself as Adam?
Yes.
After
But
referring
there's
to
more to
himself as I?
But he also understands artists like no other, as he is a photographer and videographer himself. Yeah, he's a real videographer.
Chris Canyon. No one giving a shit.
Is that a word?
A videographer?
Yeah.
Well, he created it. He's a very
Oh, no,
creative
it's-
guy.
It is?
Videographer?
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know what he says, videographer.
AML
but
is-
it's a thing.
AML Creative is for the artist, run by artists. We offer services like website design.
Oh my,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's getting hellacious.
Oh
What
my
a
God.
chair shot. CTE
What
in
the
the
fuck?
membrane right
Like
now.
nowadays they would not show that.
Okay,
obviously.
he says web design.
And I hate those edits nowadays.
But I doubt he knows a lick of HTML.
What do you put on Twitter? Do you put
Photo
anything fun?
shoots.
Do you like put any like goofy clips up there? Or
Video.
do you follow people?
What?
Do you what do you do?
I don't even really use it.
He's an
I just
assassin. He bothers Lou.
What's your Twitter handle?
He watches
John
porn
C.
like
Manikus
you
Reilly.
on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Is it Manikus Reilly?
No.
Okay.
Graphic design and content marketing. We specialize in being flexible with our clients and catering to your every need by providing you with consistent shit service. Well,
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Speaking of shit, I'll
Well.
be right back.
Oh. You
Don't
gotta do that
forget
one.
to.
So fans, if you're looking for any of that, aml-creative.com is the place to be. He's very worried that you folks are going to harass him, so please don't leave him any negative message in his comment
Dan,
section.
the poster is still up.
I know, with the wrong time.
Look at this poster.
Oh, that was a. He told me that his mom made that. And it was free, so Dan shouldn't complain.
My mom made it. Well, again, you talk about the quality of work you're going to get. His mother made it. Not him, his mother.
Damn.
Lazy bum, I'd slap Captain Lou with my Happy Meal box.
Like, if you're gonna do that, why not do it yourself? That must have taken. That would at least me take like 5 minutes in Photoshop to recreate this. Then again, there's like 4 different fonts in here. I may have to spend a while digging for it.
I don't know. What do you think, Kevin Manikus Hot?
Oh
Of
shit!
AML-Creative.
Bob Saget died.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh.
I don't know what you mean, Phil.
It's like, oh.
Phil, if we were able to do this program on Friday night, would you be able to join us?
I thought we said no to Friday night.
Oh, did we?
Because I work
We
Friday.
didn't say no to Friday.
You're.
We said, well, Saturday and Sunday we couldn't do, but Friday was the option on the table.
Oh,
we still
okay,
doing
'cause
Friday.
I thought you didn't want to do it on Friday because I couldn't be here.
Oh, that's right.
We need the power of C.
Well, it depends. When is it? What Friday?
It would be this coming Friday.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, can it be earlier Friday? Or no?
Well, no, C works during the day.
I work 1 to 8, so.
1 to
I think
8.
it's funny when you look up AML Creative on Google, like the third or fourth thing that comes up is the video of you outing him for fucking up the toy drive. Bang! You birdseed tooth motherfucker.
I think that's my favorite quote of the.
Hey, Dan, do you think David Flair was one of the biggest disappointments of all the dad and son wrestlers? Well, you know, Paul, he tried. He just wasn't very good. You know what I mean? He wasn't very big. He wasn't gassed up. He wasn't a great athlete. I think he just did it, you know, to try and appease his dad. I mean, look at the athlete. As much as I'm not a fan of women's wrestling for the most part, Charlotte Flair is an outstanding athlete, no matter how you slice it or dice it.
Yeah.
David Flair, not so much. Reed Flair was a hell of an athlete.
Reed, yeah.
Before he passed
away.
Yeah. You like that? Oh, wait a minute. We may see Phil DeCesare for the watch along this week.
Oh, okay.
Phil, I know you've got some guns on you, brother, but will you be intimidated by Kevin Manikus Hart?
I think it'll be the other way. It'll be the other way around.
You're
for
going to be
sure.
intimidated by Phil DeCesare.
I think so. I think so.
How you doing, Kevin?
How old was Bob Saget?
65.
I don't know this to be fact because I see such little television and entertainment in general. But his stand-up comedy was kind of raunchy.
Yeah. I think he also dated.
Raunchy comedy.
I think he also dated one of the girls that was on Full House.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Who?
not
One
one
of
of
the
his
daughters?
daughters. I think it was
What?
the neighbor
Yeah,
girl.
The who?
What?
I
the
know who
who
you
girl?
mean. I know who you
The
mean.
neighbor girl.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll never think of Slamboree 98 the same way again. The night we found out that Bob Saget passed, and we were looking for Phil DeCesare in the crowd.
Well, speaking of 90, is Full House still on in 98? Probably not, actually.
98. I don't know.
I don't even think he ever did like anything else.
Saget?
He
No,
did,
he was the host
Look it up. Let me
of,
see.
was it America's Funniest Home Videos or some show like that?
I thought it was
think.
Tom Bergeron.
That was the type of show that had many hosts. But Saget did one of those. I think. Any of you guys out there know that the answer to that? Did he
95,
do
yeah, he did
America's
95.
Funniest Home Videos or something like that? Football scouting report. Unfortunately, yes, we've lost Bob Saget. As we get ready for some Cruiserweight action here at Slamboree, Eddie Guerrero and Ultimo
Eddie!
Dragon should be a hell of a match.
Oh, he died in Florida.
Well, I'm not gonna even be able to enjoy going on Saturday. You missed my DDP bang. I did the DDP bang.
Somebody said
I'm not
that.
as excited now.
Somebody said that
Did you white
when
brother?
you look up AML Creative, the fourth or fifth thing that comes up
people
is Dan's video talking about he fucked up the toy drive.
So I popped. I got a little excited. I got a little fired up. Well, I think this should be a match we can enjoy.
Of course.
Wait, wasn't
Eddie's in
Chavo
there?
just in his trunks a couple of segments ago?
Well-
He changed it out?
He showered quick. He was like Quincy when he runs through the house nude.
You think you should?
Look at how much smaller he was compared to when he went to WWE.
So, Manikus
It's
Hart, I need
unbelievable.
you to, when you see Quincy, when you meet him, I want you to say, hey, how's Barabbas?
Barabbas.
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 Barabbas is a good friend of his, and he loves Barabbas.
No, you gotta say, hi, I'm Kevin. I know Reno.
That too. You have to talk about Reno and Barabbas.
So Reno's another friend of his.
Reno and
Reno.
Barabbas. Barabbas and Reno are
Very
his
good
best
friends.
friends.
It was like that Metallica song, The Memory Remains, that they played before The Undertaker and Triple H at WrestleMania 28.
Oh, is that a good match?
Yes,
Formulaic though?
he was there.
Who was?
Manikus
Oh,
Hart.
that was the Miami one, right?
What happened?
Triple H and what is it? What's the fucker's name? Undertaker.
Triple H Undertaker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
They wouldn't think Triple H was going to win that one. I'm like, yeah, I got Triple H probably lose.
Triple H had respect for the streak, which I wish other people did.
For a quick laugh, look up Bob Saget's brother's name.
Oh, he just died, right?
Yeah, I just said that, didn't I? Didn't
Wait,
I?
but he was at the
I
back.
think he was in the
I lit on Facebook when I was in the bathroom. I said Bob
We both found out at the
Saget
same time.
RIP. Yeah, basically, I just found out 5 minutes ago. I found out Bob Saget passed. He was funny. That dude was funny as hell. Shame.
I
You
really
think
didn't like.
AML Creative ever helped promote him?
Bob Saget?
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, let me ask you. Do you think
Well,
that?
it's for artists by artists.
Do you think that
It was a
AML?
character, man.
Now, do you think you're gonna? I think you're gonna run into him sometime in life, but I don't know where. Maybe a Chuck E. Cheese or something like that.
Well,
Bob
he's
Saget?
easily missed. I don't think he's talking about Bob Saget.
Chuck E. Cheese.
You know what I love, though? In the video portfolio, he still has all my interviews up. Like,
Still?
the only one that he really had anything to do with was the Kevin Sullivan one, and he destroyed the audio on it. The rest of it was shoots we did in
Imagine-
the studio that was kind of, all he had to do was press buttons.
Imagine.
Wait, so I just want to get this clear about the audio. He
Yeah.
forgot to turn a mic on?
I think one of the two microphones he forgot to turn on.
How did he forget to turn on a mic?
You're an idiot, and you have birdseed-sized teeth, and you have a $5 hat from Vistaprint.
Dan, just
You've really been egging on this Vistaprint.
Just
hat.
imagine.
Can we look up how much that is? I'm
All
gonna
right,
look it up.
let's-
Just
go
just
through
imagine
Vistaprint.
he's trying to get a job somewhere.
And
Somebody looks up
they
his
look up-
website and they just click on his website and they go through it.
I
and
just
then
understand if
they're
you're
like, oh,
doing-
he worked for the show. Let's see some of the work.
I just
One
don't
of the
understand, if
videos
you're
they
doing
just
audio,
happen
how do
to
you
click
forget to turn
on.
on the mic? I think that's the most important part.
I don't know.
What's this one all about? AML Creative Toy Drive.
It's a hard concept
It really
to wrap
doesn't
my
So
give
my
a
mom
price.
was his teacher,
Yeah.
and my mom really likes him.
Yeah,
My mom's a really nice lady.
too nice if that's the case.
Too nice. But she was like, well, I liked him and I liked his brother, and like I think maybe he's just
Ethan Lou?
so yeah, Ethan. No, I mean he was nice, and he liked Ma and Pa Lou,
She knew Byron Paolo.
at least Ma.
Parent-teacher conferences. Yeah.
But I mean also too, you gotta remember these were like Melrose kids that went to St. Mary's and down the street over here, just around the corner.
I don't know many of them.
But what I'm trying to say is, so this is my context with Adam. This is my guess. I think he went to private school, and I'm not trying to hate on anyone. My guess is I think Adam went to private school his whole life, lived a very sheltered existence, and he probably never learned how to conduct himself in business settings, business affairs,
Well, life.
in life, and probably got to a point where he wasn't happy with the situation, but instead of handling it correctly, felt like, okay, I'm just going to quit because I can just quit, and he didn't realize that someone was kind of getting fucked on the other end. In his mind, he felt he was getting taken advantage of, which maybe was true to some degree.
No,
I don't know.
that was not taken
I'm going to
advantage
give him the
of.
benefit of the doubt on just for argument's sake. Maybe it was true, but he could have handled it better, at least on his end with how he handled it. Again, if there was a blame pot here, he gets majority blame for sure, but I don't know. I think, again, there was just, didn't have to handle it that way, and he did.
One big thing I don't understand is how he thinks he has a business.
He has a camera, that's it.
He has a camera and a website.
I have a camera and a website.
Like
that's for
he doesn't have a
artists.
business degree because he never went to college.
You know
No,
what?
he did. He has a finance degree.
He does?
Yeah.
I should copyright the
Yeah, but
name
finance
AML
is not
Creative, and he
business.
should buy it from me.
How much would it be to buy it from you?
Oh, an awful lot.
Do you think he has a
I mean, to
copyright?
be fair, you don't
course
need
he
a business
doesn't.
degree
He's
to have a
an
business,
idiot.
though.
What's that?
I mean, you
He'll
don't need
just
a
change
business
it to
degree to have
something
a
else.
business, though.
Yeah, but you need to
AL
be
Creative
registered as
start
a
all over
business.
again,
True,
though.
true. You need
Yeah.
yeah, that part. Yeah, that part.
Getting
that part.
a $12
Paul would have to call
domain.
up
So if he just says, "I have a business,"
Yeah.
okay, then
You know what? Let's see.
Like, you don't necessarily
Are you
need a
gonna just
business
try and
degree
buy
to have a
someone's
business,
copyright?
but
Yeah.
like,
you need some
You need to-
credibility, something.
like an LLC or something.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think that maybe Cam Zagami can use Adam as the assassin? Cam Zagami's always been nice to me. That's all I could say.
I'm sure you'd love for him to be nice to you.
Well, I haven't really talked to him much. Dan, if you have something to say, you can say it into your microphone a little louder.
I'm looking up something else right now.
What, a copyright?
Yes.
How much do you think it is?
Oh.
Is it more than the $5 Vistaprint hat?
It's more than the $5
knock this out.
Vistaprint hat, but you know, I'm not going to say anything more.
Can you tell me how much it's worth?
The name AML Creative?
Well, it's not WB worth, is it?
No, I would say probably the last time the toilet was flushed. But imagine if I could say, you know what? Take it down. It's mine.
AML. I own AML Creative.
Be like Vince when he bought WC.
I own AML Creative.
LEW, you GONE. God.
He would just make a new name up. I don't know what he would call
It's
it.
probably AL Creative.
Probably AL Creative.
Well, it's not like it's really an established brand. But anyway, back to Slamboree 98.
Oh my God.
What's
matches
the
his
matter?
fit though.
No, I just
the
looked up
chords.
AML
does, yeah.
Creative on Google Domains.
Yeah.
You can't buy it because he owns it, but
Wait, you checked it out? He owns the...
yeah, I'm just looking at the domain.
Well, no, you couldn't buy AMLcreative.com, but
Yeah.
The
I mean,
name-
it expires at some point.
Imagine if Dan bought it and turned...
Yeah, I see that slow
Can imagine if
smiles.
Dan bought it and turned it into some sort of smut website?
you know what I would just do? Let's have a picture of a bag of birdseed.
But there's a lot of information.
Or just the video of the birds of... No, Dan, picture the birds and then the video of you talking about AML Creative.
Oh, it expires in July
Really?
1st.
Tonight was Super Show.
So how could we get it on July 1st?
If he doesn't auto-renew it.
Monday Night Raw's gonna be.
This is very mean what we're talking about, but
So we could buy AML-creative.com on July 1st.
yes.
And take it over.
I mean, if he doesn't have an auto renew on
Well,
the
see,
on the
you and I are
domain.
going to have a mission this summer. I don't want Dan to have my name.
Can I just say that this is my...
Do you think that's cruel, Charlie?
It's a little mean.
I think... Here's...
Well, if he doesn't want to pay for it,
See, I know... Listen, I've been around you now for about 6 months, roughly. I've known
it
you...
seems like so much longer.
I feel like we're friends at this point.
Yes.
We're chums.
Yes.
We're buddies. And I feel like I've said to you before, I think you're a good, decent human being at heart, but you've got a little bit of a mean streak. And I think you are, this is the classic wrestling trope. You are the babyface that the heel has fucked over week after week after week, and you haven't gotten your heat back.
Right.
So you are waiting for that cage match to lock the doors and get juice. You know what it is? I think you bring up Lou because you love making fun of him. But there's a part of you that feels like you never got his comeuppance, and you want to see him get his sort of medicine back. So if there's some way that you could buy his domain name,
The
not
thing
website,
is
but
he
his-
can always just get a similar one, like
yeah, he could
AML.net.
He could call himself Manikus Creative or whatever, you know.
I have a feeling the name Manikus is going to go bye-bye at some point once he sees this enough.
He's gonna get it
I know
legally
He's going to wish he
changed.
never mentioned that middle name.
I wish. I mean, again, I think part of it is Dan.
Eddie Guerrero
You
right
felt
there,
like
going to town on
Adam
Ultimo
fucked you
Dragon.
over, and he did. He
Yes,
fucked you over,
yes.
and you never got to say, you never got a chance to fuck him over. And that's what I think you're waiting for, is that chance one day to fuck him over.
Of course.
You know?
Unless I
missed
get
that
my
5
money.
star.
Then that's a different story for a different
Mr.
time.
Frog
Yeah.
Splash.
Then I would be unjustified.
I have it bookmarked though. The domain.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll be keeping an eye on this, John C.
You know, and again, I mean, personally, I have no problem with Adam as a friend, but if he has a problem with me for being here, well, you know.
I think of it like this. Like,
Dan can take you to more places than Adam can. You know.
No. I'm saying I'm relating back to something else that happened to me once.
What was that?
It was in a woodshop class.
Did you get fondled in a woodshop class?
No, I
Wait a
did
minute,
not.
He's got his feet on the
Yeah, I
ropes.
gotta yeah.
Chavo doesn't like it.
Because that'd be a hot story.
No. I was making this little thing. It was a little
Oh.
bookshelf thing / headphone holder. Mm-hmm. This other kid who just did not care Not
Oh!
the brightest bulb in the room, much like that one over there. Keeps going out. He just decides to do the same thing as me, like copies
Shallow.
my blueprints and everything that I had. And
That frog splash, that could be it, John
1,
C.
2,
Stick a
3.
fork in
There we
Ultimo
go.
Dragon.
he starts drilling the hole to put the little headphone hook on. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching him, and he's drilling for like 10, 15 minutes through like a half-inch thick piece of wood. I'm like, what is he doing? And then he takes out the drill to look at it. He's got a flathead screwdriver bit on the drill.
Oh.
like it's like to put in a screw, trying to drill a hole in wood. And I'm like, what are you doing?
You tried to help him.
No, I kept watching to see if he'd keep doing it, and he did.
So how does this relate to the story that we're just
Because
talking?
that's the same way I think about what Lou did. I'm like,
Oh.
at what point do you realize, like, this is not, like,
Yeah.
working? This is not a good idea.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah. Well,
That kind of idea should have started when he came out of the womb, but
it's a good lesson, though. I thought you were talking about you got fondled in a woodshop class.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I was happy when Eddie cut his hair.
you liked Eddie with
You
the
don't like
short
this mullet.
hair.
No, I was not a fan of that.
Now the Guerreros look like they're ready to go at it. They were known to fight.
Mullets
each
are
other.
back, Charlie. Did you know that?
I've heard.
You should try and comb your hair back like that, John
No,
C. You could
I-
have a mullet.
I don't think it would work for me.
There's not enough?
I don't think it would look good on me.
Oh, you don't think it would look good on you?
No. Not like a trailer park mullet, at least.
You're not a trailer park kind of guy.
So what happened? Eddie
No.
Eddie was Eddie got out of the way because he saw the guy coming. He saw Ultimo Dragon coming.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's when he knocked him off the.
Then he kisses him.
The apron.
No?
Well, they're cousins.
La Familia.
Well, uncle and
Oh yeah. I was
Nephew.
gonna say yeah. He's his nephew.
technically, yeah, because it's his brother's kid, but he was his brother, yeah.
They were a lot closer in age than the brothers.
I think only like 3 or 4 years apart.
The reason for the ratings, McMahon.
Now let me ask you: if you were to own AML Creative, the namesake,
Yeah.
would you just renew it every year just so he'll never?
Yes.
It's like it's probably like $12, $13 a year.
I think we could pull it off.
What do you think he would rename it?
Guerrero's not even off the stage yet.
What do you think he would name his
I mean,
business?
he could
He'd
probably just do.
probably email down here and tell them.
Saturn.
Dan want my website name.
Actually, you know what? Just call himself Adam Lou Enterprises.
Yeah.
Or he could just buy a similar domain like .net or dot.
Well, we could buy all of them.
.org.
That's true. Without the dash, with the dash.
Terry Satin, who we saw last night, win the ECW Tag Team titles tonight.
Maybe an acronym.
Here he is
Lou.
on Slamboree.
Just Lou. Learning, engaging, winning, or something. I don't know.
Maybe you should change the spelling to L-O-U.
Adam Lou.
Adam Lou.
I
Who
don't
was
think
Terry Satin taking on here tonight?
maybe like Riggs or something. Oh, it's not
No.
Goldberg, is it?
Chug Alert wants to know how the Marty donations are going.
We have hit about 20% with the two
I guess we're-
Indiegogo's
I guess we're
we've
seeing
done.
it's Goldberg.
So that's the good news. The bad news is we have about 80% to go. So you know what? I'll put the link
Goldberg.
up. If you want to help Marty get back into the studio so he can party like never before, here you go, baby. Because I'm telling you this, with the headaches he's caused me, when you guys want him and you guys want to pay for him, you guys got him.
Goldberg.
There you go, brother.
Goldberg.
Dan reminds me of Gilbert Godfrey when he makes fun of Lou.
You think it's Goldberg's son is gonna be in
No,
the
because
business?
you close your
I
eyes
have
like he
no
does.
I have no idea what he's doing. How old is he? Like
What?
16 now?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna tell on you. That could be Lou's T-shirt. Lou 316. I'm gonna tell on you. Look at Billy Goldberg, baby. Looking like $1,000,001. Now, how do you think Goldberg DeCesare would have drawn in '98? Could he have been the man to end the streak?
I think the match would the bell would ring and then he'd go up and shake his hand and talk to him about when he saw him in a match once for 45 minutes.
You think DeCesare would respect Goldberg?
Oh, does he not like Goldberg?
I don't know.
I think DeCesare Goldberg. That would have blown, especially in Worcester with the hometown boy and the undefeated world champion.
Goldberg would have got heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
And then I would have booked it. I'm sorry, John. Go on. I'm sorry.
I think Phil could do like a whole WWE documentary, a whole professional wrestling documentary with like Ken Burns. He'll be the only source.
Like Ken Burns. I love it.
So I'm going to say this. I could see this. Imagine this. Goldberg and DeCesare are coming down the wire. And Goldberg's setting up for the spear. And everyone's like popping, right? And they're like, oh, no. And then all of a sudden you see a guy in a yellow security shirt. And it's Dan Marani with the taser. And he tases Goldberg.
I think, though, I think DeCesare would go the route of maybe like Billy Robinson and try and hook Goldberg. You know what I mean?
Like William Regal a
And
little
stop
bit.
laughing as he did it. But fans, we have a challenge from Chris Steves. For every donation made to the Marty Fund from right now until midnight, he will personally double it.
Oh, wow.
So if you guys want Marty Jannetty, we're going to put it out there right now.
That's a challenge, okay?
We got the challenge from the great Chris Steves. That's why I haven't donated. I don't want to see a drunken Karen. Lazy Bum, the thing is, there are some days he's here and he's great, and then there's some days like what you just mentioned. It's like the show Pawn Stars when they say, we never know what's going to walk through that door. You know what I mean? And it sucks, because the sober Marty is great. When we had him November 13th, he was phenomenal. I wish we had him in studio instead of at the live event.
Why don't we just tell him?
What's that?
Why don't we just keep it a dry studio then?
Well, he's an addict. We tried to do that, and he tricked one of the fans. Who was it that took him to the liquor store? When we were getting ready to do a live stream, he said to whoever, he goes, hey, you take me to this store?
I have a, oh, can I play the voicemail that Marty left me?
He
Is it
left you.
bad?
He left you a
It's about alcohol. He's like, can you go buy Ricci's?
If you want that, yeah, that's fine.
I'll play it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, maybe I don't have
Yeah,
it yet.
I understand what you mean,
don't have
Don,
it.
and it's lousy that you guys feel that way. I want you to tell me, who do you want? Do you like John Nord? Are you excited about Dutch Mantel? Do you want more Demolition? Do you want Beefcake? Do you want Al Snow? Do you want more ECW themed episodes?
David-
Do you want did you like Godfather and D'Lo Brown? Kevin Sullivan? You tell me who you want.
Dan,
Yeah.
David Shan says Quincy is more over than Marty.
Depending upon the week.
Oh. This guy isn't getting, like, anything in.
Saturn, they were all kind of sacrificial lambs at this point. I don't have the voicemail anymore, Dan.
You deleted it.
I deleted it.
All right. Well.
But it was like, oh man, can you come by? If you stop by, can you come by and get some of that Ricci's?
You know, I was actually going to ask Kevin Manikus Hart to stop, but he's not old enough.
Yeah, well, I mean,
A couple more months. Give it a couple more months.
A couple more months.
Have
April 24th.
have some patience.
Well, the 24th, we'll try and see if they'll
Okay.
see if the person working there forgets the date.
Or can't do any math.
Dan's a bit of an alky himself. He likes his
No, I
some-
am not an alky, but it certainly helps sometimes when you sit and you're in great
Dan doesn't like
physical
coffee,
pain.
Which, like, I'm
yes,
like,
he was
what?
very surprised that
I
I
was
don't drink
surprised.
coffee.
He doesn't drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee or anything.
Really?
I rarely drink alcohol. I'll drink water, Gatorade, like soda, stuff like
And
that.
Harvey.
I'm not a soda guy.
See, that's the weird thing. People are like, I want a beer, and I'm like, can I just have a Pepsi? And like, ugh, Pepsi. What are you? A fag?
Remember when Quincy Quincy was having a cold soda and French fries at
I just want a
TGI
cold
Fridays.
drink. He was I just need a cold drink. I need a cold beverage. I thought he meant an alcoholic beverage. And he's like, no. I just want a cold Coke. He's got that Richard Nixon jowl thing going on.
Chipmunk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. A lot of people don't like soda. It seems like
Yeah, I don't like soda.
I'll even see kids like Like they're like 16. I don't like soda. I'm like, what the hell are you? Like,
I don't drink soda. I mean,
Yeah.
I ordered an iced tea, but
see,
I see, that's good.
I'll drink
they brought me a soda.
What's
I-
on
See,
your- what's on
I've seen you with an alcoholic
Is that
beverage.
Taco Bell?
See?
John C.
I said soda.
Oh, soda.
No, what's
Wait,
on the
but is
lips,
that Taco
what's on the
Bell?
corners of your lips?
Wait a minute.
Oh,
You look like you had like a yeast infection on the corners of your
little bit
lips.
A yeast and wait.
Yeah, I don't know.
wait,
You got
did that
yeast,
drink come
maybe.
from Taco Bell though?
Yeah.
Yeast.
Oh, okay.
You think he's got yeast?
Well, he was
Have
sitting
you
in
tried
Fluffy
their
Guerrero's
wings? They have, like, new
earlier.
wings
I don't know.
I was
haven't.
too. Maybe I
No.
should check myself.
Perry Satin is really getting more offense than you'd expect in a match with Goldberg. Just 6 weeks before he beat Hogan for the title.
He talked to me about Goldberg. He talked to us. He said Goldberg wasn't that tough. And I'm like, he wasn't that tough, but he beat you in a match. Wouldn't it be hilarious if if Nord wrestled Haku?
Yeah, something said hilarious.
And then, huh?
Something said hilarious.
Hilarious.
Hilarious is when it's so funny. You go,
Wouldn't it be hilarious if you said to John Nord, if he was talking about Haku, I said, did you ever wrestle Haku? And he said, yeah. And he said, who went over? And he said, Haku. I guess he was tough, huh? He went over you, John Nord.
I don't know if he mentioned who won the actual match when
I don't think John Nord would have had his chance against Haku.
in a worked match or a shoot fight.
Maybe a small chance in a shoot fight.
Well, he claims he laid Haku out.
Well, I can claim that in the King of China.
Exploder!
You gotta stop with this Haku shit. It's gotta stop.
Guys, we like to stay clean in this country.
John, the Sheik said he wanted to make you humble. I don't know what that means. I said, well, in Iran, he was the bodyguard for the Shah, and one of the forms of punishment, it wasn't considered homosexual if you were the one doing the humbling, if you were putting it in as opposed to taking it. Why don't you go back to your country cause? That's so Iranian!
That was such a struggle spear.
What's that now?
The spear on Goldberg.
We don't do that
It was
filthy
a struggle to
shit
get him
in
in.
this country. We might not
Yeah, I
be
can't remember.
perfect.
There we go.
Billy Goldberg, stick a fork in Perry Satin. Now, I wish Goldberg Nord was on the WWE Network.
oh, he's one of
You
those.
know what? We could probably find some Nord matches from WCW.
He's one of those guys that's so buff, his traps look like shoulders, and he's like,
Yeah, his
You're
traps
very
are
impressed
insane.
with his traps.
no.
You
What
like
about
his traps?
DeCesare's traps? Who do you think had
Goldberg.
bigger traps? Goldberg or DeCesare?
I think probably Goldberg. Like they just showed Saturn's head in the screen, the pictures walking out.
Like, you know how it looks like they've got like a smaller set of shoulders within their shoulders?
right on top.
The Haku shit has gotta stop!
I like how this is every interview with you when you have someone, well, John, in certain countries they talk about giving a little bit of ass eating. Have you ever had that?
Well, no, that came up too, and I don't know if it's aired
Yeah,
yet.
of course you bring it up.
I said, did you ever try and go up that little
You
tourniquet?
were
wore?
obsessed with people's sex
He
lives.
knew her.
You were obsessed with people's sex lives.
Like who?
Mine,
Annie.
Annie,
Mine.
everyone you have in
Andy's
this chair,
sex life speaks for itself.
Barry Windham.
Well, he was a.
If he was in the chair, you'd be like, were you the very first of the
He
Annie
was the
special?
first. He was the. He was the Bill DeMott of Goldberg.
If you ever watch A Christmas Story?
Yes.
Okay, remember the scene where Santa he pushes Ralphie down, he climbs back up?
Yeah.
You would ask Santa, did Annie ever eat your ass when you were in Boston, baby?
Santa baby. I don't got any cookies for you, but I got something just as hot, baby.
Terrible. You're terrible.
Poor woman.
Right? Yeah, just...
Call your cable or satellite provider now for Great American Bash 98. See how they react. Baby.
How many more matches left of this? Probably the tag match.
I really don't remember this event all that well, believe it or not.
When is Phil shown? When Steiner?
He said Scott Steiner gave him a little heat, and then it sent with Scott Hall. Phil, you're still with us, brother. Where are you? Oh, here he is. I've got a pic with Goldberg to show you guys. You need a Sherpa for Goldberg's traps. Well, I'd like to see, hopefully we'll see this picture. I like that idea, Daily Wrestler. We need Annie, ass-eating Annie satisfied customer t-shirts. Baby. Oh, this is Bischoff and Vince.
He looks like he's on a ghost hunting show.
He looks like he hasn't slept in about a month.
Yeah, he looks like his wife left him the week before, and he hasn't
Well, his
slept.
wife probably went across the street, but that's a different story for a different
I
time.
love how Bischoff was running the company. He would dress up in jeans and sweats. He didn't care. I love that. I love that. Just like, yeah, whatever. And you see Vince, who's never got a hair out of place in custom suits and.
He looks like a normal version of that guy from 90 Day Fiance. You know the
A weird fat guy?
yeah, the guy with like no neck.
What's his deal? Is he just
I don't know. What more do you need to know than he slicks his hair back with mayonnaise? Like
He does?
With mayonnaise?
yes. Emulsified eggs, mayonnaise.
I've never heard that before. Yeah.
You've never heard what before, Kevin Manikus?
Someone slicking their hair back with mayonnaise.
Neither had I. I don't think it's a
Like,
thing aside from
Apparently, you
him.
didn't know our former president, Franklin D. Churchill.
Franklin Churchill?
Churchill?
Franklin D. Churchill. He enjoyed mayonnaise a great deal.
What?
He loved mayonnaise. Piper mayonnaise from England.
What are you talking about? Who's Franklin Churchill?
He's dead now, but he enjoyed Piper mayonnaise.
Who is this?
Franklin D. Churchill. He ran the
But he doesn't
Criterion
stick his hair
movie
back with it,
theater
does he?
in- The Criterion movie theater in Baja, Maine.
I thought you meant
He enjoyed Piper mayonnaise.
I thought you meant a president of the United States. I'm like, what?
No, Franklin D. Churchill.
But he never slicked his hair back with the mayonnaise. Still has
He
it.
may have. I never really asked him what he did with. I know he would eat it raw
Ugh.
with the spoon like it was ice cream.
Ugh, that's disgusting. That is disgusting.
That's a question for Big Ed, Phil. I
For
don't-
Big Ed. Who was Big Ed?
That's the guy I was talking
oh,
about. with
he
no-
knows the mayonnaise.
Yeah.
They've had him back on the show. Like,
Talking mayonnaise?
have you seen this guy, Dan?
I have absolutely no idea who or what you're talking about.
Hold
I
on,
just
I'll-
heard mayonnaise and I thought of old Franklin D.
Yeah, anytime someone is say anything, you'll be like, I remember Speedy Mayonnaise. Like, you'll name these people, but we have no idea that you knew from 1998.
I've met so many unique, interesting people in my life, good
Really?
and bad.
Like the movie Big Fish.
I wish more people would watch Big Fish. They've missed out on something good as John C. Manikus Reilly makes his way over. He used, now how do you know he uses mayonnaise to sleep? Did he admit it?
He does it on the show.
He takes
Can I see
mayonnaise
that?
out of a jar?
Can I see that? Can I actually see
The
Oh, wait a
picture of
minute.
him
I
or him
No,
putting
I want to
mayonnaise?
see. I just
Kevin
wanna,
Manikus
I
Hart
want
wants
to see
to
how
see
he
it.
does this shit. Like, what?
Well, I'm going to guess he puts it in a cone.
Well, this is his picture. If you don't,
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Oh. But I didn't know he does that though. That's crazy. I know this guy. But let me see the video of him actually slicking it back. I just want to see how ridiculous that looks, and disgusting.
Well, that was a hell of a match, Charlie Wilson.
Great match, wasn't it?
The one for the night. Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, here we go.
I was always surprised they didn't sue them.
Oh, it
over
looks
that.
like Hellman's.
Could they have done that?
Whoever asked earlier.
Well, I think because of the way they worded the introduction, where they said Vince McMahon, the CEO of Titan Sports, that's a real human being of a publicly traded company, as opposed to
cannot be
if he
real.
just said Vince McMahon.
That's not mayonnaise. That's something else in the jar. Just kidding.
You know what I mean?
Weird legal-
I don't know that. That's just my guess.
Oh my god. I mean, does it do something for his hair? Like, what does it do?
I don't know. I don't know if protein's amazing for your hair or something. I can't imagine the smell.
Disgusting. That's what that is.
No wonder why he had to meet a wife
Would you ever
online.
slick your hair back with
You think?
mayonnaise?
I can't say I would.
Have you ever used a little mayo in that coif over there,
No.
John C? No. What about you?
No.
Well, your hair is so long.
Coconut oil, but not.
Coconut oil.
Just rub
Yeah.
a lot of mayonnaise on
You
it.
use a lot of coconut oil.
I mean, it's in the the conditioner.
You use conditioner.
Yes.
What about shampoo?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
shampoo and
But you have a
conditioner.
little coconut oil in the conditioner.
Yeah.
What about you, CW? You put a lot of time into that
Get the
the
flow.
moss over there. Now, do you use coconut oil?
I really don't use anything.
No.
I just wash it and go.
You just wash it. Well, sometimes that helps. Learning about all of our hair techniques here. I feel like
Try
we're back at
mayonnaise.
Noel's
It might-
salon.
Maybe
It might bring out the shine more.
maybe
I
I'll
think.
smell better.
Have you been to the new location, Dan?
No, have you?
No.
Have you at
The
least
best there
waved
is, the
for
best
me?
I don't even think she'd recognize me.
John, she might want to cut you. Not make you bleed, but cut your hair.
Oh, what year was the pay-per-view again?
All
98.
nations made to our manager. Now through midnight. Hurry, please. Let's keep Marty rocking. Marty likes to rock.
A little too hard sometimes.
Well, I'd like to know where he's living.
Who, The Rock?
No, Marty Jannetty.
Oh. I thought you said The
Rock's
Rock.
doing all right for himself. Marty not. Oh, dear Lord. Piper?
God. I think Piper's a little overrated.
I don't think he should have been wrestling at this point.
Well,
he was in
as a
rough
worker,
shape.
he's overrated. As a personality,
Um,
what do you think about Piper overall?
I loved Piper.
I thought
When he needed to go, he could go. But he was over enough that he didn't need to.
Is that Tasmanian Devil on
It
his
is.
shirt? I like They Live.
Looks like a Is this a rematch from WrestleMania 8, or is he
No,
a
this is with
referee?
Savage.
Have you ever seen
Oh,
They
he's a
Live?
ref.
Yeah, I think so. But you should wear a shirt.
Kevin? Have you ever seen They Live?
Not what?
They Live, the movie?
No.
It stars Roddy Piper.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a little old.
Oh, what year it came
It's
out?
not that. It's,
What year is it?
It's like
88?
84, I think.
No, like
87. it
It's
came
it's
out.
the movie with the part
Or he made
where
it when he left after, what is that, after
He-
WrestleMania 3.
I'll admit he's not a great actor, but it's
Because Piper passed in what, like 13, 14, 2013, 14?
Was it? No, I think it was more recent
15?
than that.
I think
Was
it's
it
like
15,
19.
16? That's a shame.
I'll check that out though. It's
It's-
called
Piper
what?
would have been
They
great.
Live.
They Live.
He would
It's,
have been, I think, one of the all-time great
John
interviews in
Carpenter.
this studio.
Oh, okay. John Carpenter. did it.
with
Yeah.
Charlie Manikus.
Was that?
So it's a horror
Hot Rod.
horror film.
What about Hot Rod?
It's like
I think he would have been one of the
sci-fi
all-time
action,
great interviews in
like
there.
a tiny bit of horror.
Okay.
Him and I shot.
It's the movie
I think
with like
so.
the
I think as a
Banksy.
character, he's great. I think he's just
you
a
know,
little
the, like
overrated.
obey stuff.
Yeah.
That's all like taken from that.
I can
movie.
understand
okay.
why
Essentially,
people
like
think that.
aliens
I think, but
take
this is coming
over
from a guy, Dan. I
society
think
from the
Dusty
top
Rhodes is very
down.
overrated.
Oh, I
But
do
they're like
too.
hidden.
Yeah.
They
And
look
I have a
like
dog
people,
named Dusty.
and he finds these
Not after
sunglasses
Dusty
so he
Rhodes.
can see them.
No, he was just a little dark and kind of dirty looking.
So you named him Dusty.
Yeah.
Keith David is
Okay.
also in it.
And of course, you
Keith
know
David
how I
did
feel
not-
about
love
Savage.
Keith
I think
David.
he's the he's my personal GOAT if I had to pick one.
You think Randy's the greatest of all time?
I think so.
Randy Savage is, he's one of the best. He's one of the best.
Who do you think is the greatest of all time?
The greatest of all
Kevin
time?
Manikus.
Oof. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, why
there's...
don't you think about it?
Huh?
Why don't you think about it? We'll get back to you.
All right, get back to me.
John C., who do you think is the
best of all-
greatest?
The greatest of all time. Like, only one person. That's crazy.
Adam Lou
I
would
think
say
about
Andre
this.
the Giant.
Well, you ruined my joke. Thanks.
No, you're welcome.
The greatest of
Greatest?
all time.
And I think Brett's amazing too. I actually would put Brett not too
See,
far
I know
behind Savage.
Ogoats. You know, Dan, I know Ogoats. One of the greatest.
Ogoats?
Ogoats, like one of the greatest of all time. But I never know the greatest
I know
of all
one
time.
goat that owes me about $13,000, but that's
God.
a different
Oh,
story.
God.
for another time.
Who's
The
that?
puppet.
The puppet?
You don't know the puppet.
Why does he owe you 13 grand?
You know what we're going to call him?
Wait, did neither of them know the puppet?
No.
No, do you
Neither
know
of you
the
know
puppet?
the puppet?
No.
Oh my god.
They're that
Have
new.
you met the puppet?
I worked with the puppet.
What's he like?
He's a pathological liar.
Hey, Siri,
Call
call the puppet.
Are you so lazy you can't hit a button and call him?
Just to confirm,
I'd never use
you'd
that,
like
by
to
the
call
way.
Puppet 2021.
Yes.
Puppet
Calling
2021?
Puppet 2021.
We're calling the
reach
puppet.
Mr. C Services. You're out of the office right now. Please leave a message after the beep. Thank you.
Always leaving us.
He thinks he owns a business.
The mailbox is full.
Well,
Accept any
he's
messages.
really, he's really keeping things up to date. It's like Treasury.
So he didn't answer the phone. The mailbox is full.
Well, he doesn't want to pay me back the money that he owes me, as he doesn't have it.
Wow.
You know what?
How
You're
much
try-
is this again?
A little over 13K.
Jeez.
It's like what Manikus's checks are for over at the rug store each week.
Good.
He's doing all right for himself.
I gotta get that rug job.
Now, do you work outside of the world of education?
No.
No.
I don't.
Wouldn't
Have you ever?
You just pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that can be
Well,
a
he gets
job,
pounded
too.
depending on what this.
I don't know about that, but
This kid, to a military wife's face goes, yeah, I was in Vietnam. No older than like 26. How
yeah,
old is
24, 25, 26, and he said he was in Vietnam.
Maybe he visited one time.
He's out of his fucking mind. And he gets angry about it, but we say that he's Quincy's son. And Quincy gets furious about it.
Does Quincy have any
I don't
children?
have any kids.
Oh, I can't wait to see him next time so I can say, hey, what's up, Barabbas, as I walk past him.
He won't,
So
have,
how's your son doing?
he won't have a kid, so he'll have to pay for it.
And then he'll go into the bathroom and he'll go,
As he gets naked and runs through the studio.
What is that?
How?
I thought it was a fly, but he goes into the bathroom and looks in the mirror and makes these sounds like there's a ghost in there with him saying, Quincy, you don't have a son.
When's the first time you met Quincy?
Was it here?
Oh, yeah. I remember he did the national anthem for the first time for us in 2002.
The national anthem.
He
sang-
sang the national anthem.
How was that?
And
Didn't you say some of the
I'm sure
cops
you
walked,
probably heard better.
the police detail walked
No,
out?
that was the one at Memorial Hall. That was
Oh, okay.
2009 or 10.
No, I love being with you when someone sings the national anthem because you'll be next to me going, look at this bozak over there singing the national anthem.
Well, because it's hard for me to get up and down like that.
Yeah.
By the time I get up, the song's fucking half over.
exactly.
Yeah, and at Fenway, they have to get into it. They really put some oomph into it. Just sing it.
They oversing the
Just
words.
sing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the words.
Like
You're
when you-
not adding anything new to it in your 25 seconds of fame that you're getting.
Yep.
That no one is going to remember 15 seconds after you're done. Just sing it.
We need a new national anthem. I think that's it.
We need just a new song completely.
Yeah. Not
Well, maybe
maybe not
Quincy
a
can write
completely
it.
new song, but like a better song.
I like the
Like-
Russian national anthem. That sounds like that's such a good beat.
What, the
Russian
Soviet
anthem?
Union
The
one?
do. I can play that on guitar. It's a fun little song.
You
play
play
guitar?
the guitar, Charlie.
I play on
Maybe
occasion.
you should bring it down sometime. We could do it for tips.
Yeah, why
Red
not?
Hot
Maybe,
Suplex.
maybe I
and
can
then
get
Macho Man
Quincy,
Randy
and Quincy can
Savage.
dance to my
You're on
playing.
Slamboree 98.
Would you like Quincy to dance while I play guitar?
Yes.
Is this acoustic guitar you like?
I have a guitar, electric guitar.
The excellence
So
of
maybe I could
execution
play
in the
something,
midsection of the Macho
and
Man.
Quincy can violently bash himself around. And
Roddy Piper making sure it's not too low of a blow. He took the kilt off.
It's like ritualistic watching it.
The hot rod
Quincy
starting
is the kind of
count.
guy. If you got arrested and your bail was $10, and he was the only one that could bail you out, and you said to Quincy, "I'll pay you back," he'd be like, "I don't know, man. It seems a little steep." Is there any other way we can? Is there any way we can get him out without paying the $10?
He'll try to bail you out with signed 8x10s of Al Snow with his name on it.
Let me talk to him. Let me talk to him.
Oh, big miss.
Oh, fuck.
The Hitman taking those cheap stairs the WCW had.
Bret Hart. One of my
$8.
absolute favorites is Bret the Hitman Hart.
You were a big Bret fan.
I'm a big Bret fan. I was thinking about this today on the way here. I think about this every other week. Who's better, Bret or Shawn? Because they're so closely linked. And I'm going to answer it this way, Dan. If I got to meet Bret Hart, it would mean more to me than meeting Shawn Michaels.
Well,
That's
would you
one
like to see Bret in the studio?
I'd love to. I think he'd be great. He'd be the best. I think he'd get the most hits out of anyone you've ever
To be
had.
very honest, I think.
Yeah.
I'm really good at
And
the sharpshooter.
Little
so
bit
I
into
figured-
himself.
You're really good at the
Oh
sharpshooter.
yeah, I know how to do the
Now,
Well, he's
who
your,
did you do
you're
it
your
with?
his younger
Hornswoggle?
brother.
Yeah, yes.
You could be like, "Hey, remember me around the hot house?"
I was
I
the
think
bastard.
yeah, the sharpshooter was the first
You could ask-
submission move that I've learned how to do.
You could ask him, how did Helen look like a corpse the last 10 years of her life?
Oh, poor Helen.
You ever look at Helen?
Do you think DeCesare is in the
This was
crowd?
Helen's face every
Whoa,
time.
whoa, whoa. I want to see DeCesare. Phil,
Not-
where are you in this crowd, Phil?
We don't know when Scott Steiner's coming out yet, so we gotta.
Mike Burke Coffin says he's Quincy's son.
That's
Quincy's
probably
not
true.
going to like that.
Quincy's never touched a woman. Well, at least we don't know of.
Well, at least we know he's hid the 8x10 of Deborah McMichael that says puppies.
He's a backdoor man.
You know, I have to get up for 1 second, folks. My back is ready to cry.
You want me to switch it?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, John C. Bret Hart throws over the barricade like he's a piece of garbage. He's lacerated on the arm. As Randy and his aging hips try and get over. Piper and his fake hips. Thank you, John C.
Oh, throwing like a rag dog.
Like a rag doll, baby. Oh, tomorrow, this is going to be such a long week, folks. If you only knew what I have in store this week in my life. But the content...
So, what do you think Dan's
baby.
going to Florida about? I think it's something to do. I think it's.
I don't know.
I have
He's
a few
not- he's not-
ideas.
He's not
What are
disclosing
some
the
of your
details.
ideas, Charles?
I think you have some problems legally and you're trying to fix them in Florida.
And what part of
Why
Florida,
would
too?
I have
That's
to
a
go to
question I have.
Florida to fix legal problems?
Opalaka or whatever.
Apalaka.
I don't know.
That's in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Opalaka.
Opalaka. I
Yes.
don't know. Willy Wonka, Opalaka. I don't give a shit. It's all the
Why
same.
would I have to go to Florida to fix legal problems?
Maybe you got some broad knocked up and you got to go take care of it or something.
Well, I say this.
Some Bozark that you paid $7 for.
You know what?
As you'd say.
Maybe we should confront this now. I may have to talk with Howard Miller first, but the first weekend in February, I have to go to Jacksonville.
Oh.
And I don't know what time. I don't think I'm going to be back on that Sunday in time. Fuck.
What's in
You're a
Jacksonville?
flying machine.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a certain company that's based out of Jacksonville.
Well, I didn't say anything about that.
What company is that?
I'm not going to say, but let's just say that, that it's not a Coca-Cola plane he's going down to see.
A wrestling company?
I'm not going to say anything else. But I have an idea about what he's doing in Jacksonville.
Well,
Marty
I
was
gotta
in
go.
Jacksonville. Maybe you can find Marty.
Hopefully, I will not find Marty. Right, John Tree?
Sure.
Brett the
What are you hoping to do in Jacksonville? See actually the Jaguars game wouldn't happen at that point unless they get to the Super Bowl.
Is that Super Bowl weekend?
No, not the February 1st. I think it's like the 13th or something like that. 13th.
It's Valentine's Day weekend?
Yeah, that's
think so.
Valentine's Day weekend.
The Super Bowl?
I think so.
Really?
The Super Bowl?
Pretty sure. Check.
Whoa! Relax over there, man. Jesus Christ.
I don't know why I jumped with that one, but I was like, the
He
Super Bowl
almost
is the
bit you.
Valentine's.
He almost bit you.
I don't know. I'll look it up now. It's probably.
I just think that's so confusing. Like, why would that be in the same?
Christmas tree, my Christmas tree.
Super
Oh, it's
Bowl.
February 13th.
Yep.
Wow.
I know
What
that's
an
so.
odd weekend to pick it.
That's
That's
what I'm
going to be an
saying.
exciting weekend for my dad.
Why is that?
He's going to the Bean Pot the next day.
On Valentine's Day? Really?
I got him
Valentine's Day
tickets.
is Super Bowl.
Mrs. Smith isn't going to get me loving.
I got him 3 tickets for Christmas.
I was very impressed with you for that, especially when you told me how much you paid. I got, as I think I told you, the Little Maraudis tickets to 2 Celtics games that ran me $900, and I only get to go to one of them, so I was thrilled about that.
Jesus.
I think we discussed the Linda Marotti brawl that took place here at the studio yesterday, but Bret Hart with the side Russian leg sweep on Macho Man Randy Savage.
That was a good leg sweep.
Taking his time. He should be going for the pinfall.
Not a leg sweep. A leg sweep cannot put away Savage.
Well, Randy's not moving all that well. He's like Joe Biden during the coronavirus. There's not a lot of movement.
Great comparison, Dan. Great
Lanny was probably at home watching this, pleasing himself.
Who?
Lanny.
Lanny. Why would he please himself?
Well, he was getting paid to do no work for one.
Wait,
80
how's he
grand a
watching
year.
this and doing that at the same time?
And number
Would he
2,
please himself to his own brother?
Well, maybe
Ooh.
just the excitement of the match.
But
My
how
brother.
could he do that and watch it at the same time? Wouldn't there be, like, in the
Well,
way?
I'm trying to. If you
You gonna demonstrate it?
Well, no, I'm thinking if you can get yourself in that position, you could probably still watch the TV.
I guess maybe through your
Now, do you
legs.
have any idea what we're talking about,
Yeah.
Kevin Manikus?
Yeah, I
What
do.
are we talking about?
You talk about somebody pleasing themselves.
Do you know who we're talking about?
No, I don't know who you're talking about, but I don't know the context.
We're talking about the genius Lanny Poffo, who is the Macho Man's brother, was able to fillet himself. And he used to try and entertain some of the boys by doing it. He said he was never alone during quarantine times last year. He always had himself. Macho Man looks done. Brett should be going for a pinfall. He didn't hook the leg, and that's certainly not going to be enough.
Ah.
Wait, when did he put on pants?
Who put on pants?
Who put on pants?
Roddy Piper.
I think, are we frozen on the
I think he just had the skirt, and then he
YouTube?
just took off the skirt, and then he had the pants on all the time.
Usually when you're wearing a kilt, there's nothing under
So we
there.
got to try and figure out what we're going to do on that first Friday there. Oh, no, that first Sunday. I
Was it
should
the
say.
first?
The first Sunday in February.
Oh, the
Yeah,
sixth.
I don't think I fly out. I don't think I fly home until after 8
Would
o'clock at night.
Phil, would you be able to come down that day?
I think the only reason Howard couldn't do next Sunday was because it was his mother's birthday. I think Howard might at least be able to come and open up everything if we let him know ahead of time, and do things as normal just without me.
But would Phil be able to come down?
Phil! Phil!
John C., would you come down February 6th?
Phil!
What's the date?
February 6th, the Sunday.
February.
Probably, yeah.
All right. If you
February
What
come
about
down-
Kevin Manikus Hart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what date is this again?
February 6th?
Yeah.
Sunday? Yeah, why not?
Wait, where's the laughter?
What do you...
We don't have a show scheduled for that. We don't have a show yet, but we could probably get one pretty quick.
Why are you laughing, Dad?
Well, because we only ran the date, out about 15 times in the past 45 seconds. And what was the date again one more time? After you almost
had bad
bit him.
hearing.
You almost bit him earlier.
I was like, Super Bowl?
Super Bowl Sunday! Super Bowl Saturday!
Should we do a Super Bowl?
Wait, we're not allowed to say Super
Oh,
Bowl.
God.
We're not allowed to say
You're not
Super
a
Bowl.
football guy?
You got to say the big game.
Oh, the big game.
I'd rather be.
Fuck them.
Listen, I'd rather
This
be.
is Boston
Wait,
wrestling.
I-
I'd
say
rather
Super Bowl?
be here
This is
on
copyrighted.
Super Bowl Sunday
Oh,
watching
God, it's just a joke. You
WCW
can say it.
Super Bowl Saturday.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of wrestling fans that don't give a shit about football.
Fuck
We
'em.
should plan, you know what? I don't know what your schedule is like, or the schedule of John C., or the schedule of Kevin Manikus Hart, but maybe like a bigger watch along that day. Maybe like 2 shows.
Yeah.
Make it
Very
like
good
our own Super Bowl party.
Like 2 different shows?
Yeah, maybe 2 different companies, or maybe back-to-back shows.
We can
or
get some food, maybe?
The same event from back-to-back years. Yeah, yeah,
Get some
yeah.
of Tony's wings.
Maybe do some prizes.
Some Chinese food that actually comes this time?
It didn't come last time.
Oh, wait a minute.
Damn.
Hey, who's this ring rat?
She was working in a Nordstrom's down in Florida before Randy got her the gig. Randy reverses the, well, he's trying to reverse the sharpshooter. Angelo's probably doing sit-ups at this point.
Where's Liz at this point?
Brett, you better not.
She was working at
Oh, there we
Nordstrom
go.
in the 90s?
I don't know. It was
He's like, he's not letting go.
it was Macy's or something.
What
She's
year was
working-
this, 93, 94?
Lord and Taylor.
She was married to a guy, I think he was a lawyer, after she left Randy, and she got a job at a retail store.
What year was this? Probably like 93, 4?
95, 94. They brought her in back in early 96 as a favor to Randy. And
And then he went to
I
Gorgeous
tell you
George.
this, she came in for very cheap money compared to what she was making in WWF. And this came from, you probably can guess, but I mean, cheap money. No, I don't know Bischoff all that well
Like
personally.
120, 130 grand?
It was right in that ballpark.
Like
yeah.
what a cruiserweight guy would be
Yeah,
making,
yeah. Nothing compared to what she was making in WWF.
What did she make in
WWE.
WWF, you think?
Probably about 3/4 of what Randy was getting. She made a lot more than people would think. She
Really?
made monster money.
How so?
She was over. She was part of the package.
Oh, there's Hogan. Oh.
Ooh.
Look at Hogan's beard. He painted his beard on. Look how fake his beard looks. Almost as fake as Dan Maratti's beard.
Oh, this is all real, baby.
By the way, I like the little side beard. I think it's better than just the goatee. I think the goatee looked a little too fake.
How much would
Well,
somebody have to?
someone, encouraged me to try this, and it stuck for the
I think
past.
if you
How long have I had this for now? I'd have to look at the video.
How much would somebody have to super chat for you to get the Hogan handlebar?
The Hogan? You mean the
Fu
shape it
Manchu.
like that?
Yeah.
$10?
No.
$10.
No.
You wouldn't take a $10?
If we were doing some kind of a charity event for like the toy drive or Make-A-Wish, maybe a couple hundred. I wouldn't go crazy.
Wait, so he just hit him with the sharpshooter and that was it?
That was it. Stick a fork in the Macho Man Randy Savage. Bret Hitman Hart on his way to big things. I think at Bash at the Beach he worked Booker T. So this was a real important win.
Oh, he
for him.
spat right in his face.
That's what I'm going to do to Lou.
Oh, shit.
And it's
did he
going to
do?
land in
What
his
was it?
bare face.
Did they have a feud? Did they have a rivalry at this
Like,
point?
spit down with shit.
Everybody had a
Don't spit down.
rivalry at this point. That was the problem with WCW. All of these feuds would start and end, and it would just turn into nonsense. Because too many of these guys had too much stroke. That was the problem. When you have maybe 1 or 2 guys up top that have a little control, that's one thing. When you have a dozen guys that have some control over what they're doing, it turns into fucking mayhem. And that was the problem that Bischoff faced. Now, he created part of it, because he created a lot of those contracts. But I mean, fucking the shit that Kevin would have to go through is the quote-unquote booker having to change and rewrite shows over and over and over again, because this one didn't like what they were doing. That one didn't like what they were doing.
Let me ask you a quick question. Do you think that Hogan was necessary for WCW to be successful?
Yes.
So he was essentially a necessary cancer? Because he kind of fucked it up a little bit. You can't say Hogan
I
was...
cannot take him seriously with the black clothes and the fake beard.
Yeah, I want Dan to have that beard.
I mean,
I will
essentially
never
he
have
does.
a fake one.
Just be painted on.
This is real.
Larson, maybe, you know what? At the end of the show, Larson, we're going to do a 10-bell salute to Bob Saget and Betty White.
Okay.
10 bell.
Yeah, in wrestling, it's customary. When we lose someone, we ring the bell 10 times.
Do you have a bell around here?
YouTube, I'm sure, does.
There you go.
Simple enough. What was the question you asked about Hogan?
Do you think Hogan was necessary for WCW to be successful, even though he kind of fucked it up a little bit?
At that point, where Hogan went, the money went. The reason why, for example, WWF lost Hasbro for their action figure
Slamboree.
line
Oh, this is the minute.
was because they lost Hogan.
I think 1994 he was helpful, but by 98,
Wasn't
I
Sting
don't
in
think they
that?
needed him by 98, 99. They didn't need him at that point.
You remember in '98? That's when he started to come and go a little. He was smart. He knew things were on a downward slope, so remember he retired kind of after that Goldberg thing?
And I think
Then
Hogan-
he announced he was going to run for president
Biggest-
of the United States.
Yeah, biggest-
Then he came back and they did the finger poke, and he would come and go, and he was smart toward the last few years.
But even the finger poke, I think, hurt him long term.
Well, I think it hurt the company more than him.
Well,
but-
I meant as far as his reputation. Granted, he may not give a shit about that.
well, he was a heel.
It made Nash look bad, if anything. It didn't really make him look bad. It made Nash look bad.
Made Nash look kind of like an idiot.
Yeah, it made Nash look like a douchebag.
Oh, Phil is looking forward to meeting John Nord. Phil, do you know what day you're going to come to meet John Nord as of yet?
Is it that Saturday and Sunday, the 22nd?
22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
24th, I can't. Somebody have an
Wait,
Israel
24th 's
flag?
Yeah, that's
What,
a Monday.
24th is a Monday?
Yeah.
It's 22nd. I'll be down at least one of those days.
I hope at least two
At
for
least
Johnny
two?
Nord.
I'll be down at least one.
For Johnny Nord.
I can't be here. I can't be here.
I'll be down at least one.
Actually, what time do you need me Monday? If I were
He's
to,
flying home on Monday, so it's going to would be relatively
earlier.
early in the day. So you have
Wait,
your
so
other job.
Phil might be coming up. He said something about Scott Hall.
Oh, wait a minute. Phil, where are you, brother?
it's not him on the left, is it?
He should have been out there with the three of them.
Imagine him coming out
Too sweet.
doing the little.
Wait, we gotta look for him. We gotta look for him.
Where are you, Phil?
Phil, if you're still here, tell us where to look, brother. Matthew, remind us when we're with John Nord live that it's Tully Blanchard's birthday, and we'll see if John Nord gives a shit. A weekend day or two, we may get 2 days of Phil. Two
Our
Royal
Phil of
Rumble.
Phil.
Oh, look at that. 2 Royal Rumble watch-alongs. But Phil, where are you right now? You mentioned Scott Hall earlier. Where are you, Phil?
Is John Nord gonna be able to watch a full show?
Yeah,
We're only watching it because he's in there, right?
Pretty
He's
much.
only in there for a few minutes.
I haven't timed it.
You could probably look it up and find out.
This is the main event. Wait, Phil said holding the sign, maybe? The Welcome Back Hall sign. All right, look for a Welcome Back Hall sign. Has it been up yet, Phil?
Oh, I think. Wait. I think I saw it. It's like right behind. No, this is Wolf.
Phil was a big Scott Hall fan, I take it.
Oh, wait. He says, wait until Hall says, hey, yo.
Is that him in the middle there?
That's not him, he's black.
That's not.
There he is! There he is! Stop it! There he is! Oh my God! That's it!
That rhymes with treasury.
That's young DeCesare! Oh my God!
Oh, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to have to try and figure out a way to screenshot that.
Can you
That's
please?
beautiful. What?
You think,
That was the best part of the show.
is that going to be an automatic 7 in the
You know
rankings?
what? It's definitely increased a point or two.
The guy who was holding the sign. That was
Yeah,
Phil.
that's Phil DeCesare.
That's Phil DeCesare. He's a lot
Before
younger
you
back
were
then.
even born.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy's
for sure.
jacked in the front.
Oh, my. What were we laughing about last night that had my. Oh, Quincy's tweets.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, Al!
I mean, you guys, my stomach was in pain.
Yeah.
When we left last night,
He
I
kept
laughed so
bitching
hard.
and bitching
He's
and
telling
bitching
you.
and bitching you about my stomach's in pain.
My stomach's
My
in
stomach's
pain.
Oh, I was in a good mood. I
I
was
know.
bitching.
I kid, of
Oh,
course.
all right.
You never really bitch
It's from
that much.
laughing to you split his sides.
I did. Unless it's he doesn't really bitch really, unless it's about Lou.
Yeah.
Charlie, your mic's late.
I don't think Phil DeCesare is ever going to bring a welcome back Lou sign to Memorial Hall, do you?
Phil, do you still have the
The
sign?
Giant.
Yeah, Phil, what did you do with the sign?
Probably in his house still. Outside the door.
Maybe down in his basement, in his man cave or something.
His man cave?
Mike Burke Coffin, where are you from, brother?
DeCesare's domain.
Philville.
Philville? Please, let's just rename the show Philville or DeCesare's domain. Dan, I have a serious question for you. Can we rename the MWF the GWF the DeCesare Wrestling Federation?
No, the Phil would have to invest quite a bit.
DeCesare World Order, baby, DWO.
Oh, that this has been the past couple of nights. We've had a lot of fun. We may not focus as much as we should on the shows, but
Red Dead.
Worcester
Is this
Centrum
Sting?
on fire, baby.
But Sting wasn't in the NWO at this point. I
Is
think
the
he joined
Centrum
right
still
after.
around?
Who?
The Worcester Centrum.
It's called the DCU Center now.
Oh, okay.
Oh. This. My drink almost got spit
I
all
saw
over the
that.
TV. Now, was Sting talking at this point? I really don't remember.
Yeah, he was talking about
Yeah,
this.
that was the end of Sting.
He's singing at least.
What's that, John C?
Said he was singing.
He was singing?
Yeah, what year is this?
98.
Yeah, he's.
I want to stay.
Oh, well, aren't you a comedian? We're talking wrestling and DeCesare.
He was in Doom. 1980.
Did we watch Starcade 97 not too long ago?
We did,
Didn't
yeah.
we, Charlie? Yeah.
We did.
And it was such a disappointment.
The end of the match, I thought the show was pretty decent.
Eh.
Hey, it was better than
was
Barely
last
Legal.
week,
that
wasn't
was a
it?
piece of shit if I ever saw one.
Oh, I like Barely Legal much more.
Barely
Yeah,
Legal.
that was a hot take from you,
Barely
bro.
Legal. Hot take, yeah, like a steaming turd.
You're a contrarian.
Huh?
You're a needless contrarian, Charlie.
I really...
Oh! Roy W., how are you, brother? I
I
hope
like my-
you're well.
It
Thank
was-
you for
it
joining
was
us a
alright.
little
I
late.
think, what did I give it, like a 4?
You gave it a 4.
You gave it a 4.
Yeah.
At first it was a 3, but then it
relax.
was a 4.
Whoa, wait, hey, whoa.
What?
Whoa,
I could
hey.
bump it to a 5.
You get fired
talking
up,
a little
brother.
over-
He
I
just
could-
talks fast.
I could bump it to a 4.5 for Dan. Dan likes the half and half.
No, I hate the halves.
You don't like the half and half? I got 4.5 on the. Hey, we watched a couple Starcades that were pretty terrible. Starcade
We
night,
sure did.
You know, so
What if he gave it just 1/2? If it was that bad?
No.
It was
you
better
mean
than
just,
that.
Just half
Yeah.
instead of a 1? I don't know if I've ever seen a show that bad. WCW had some real bad ones
This
the last
show, I
year
think
they
I'm
were in
going to give it
existence.
at least a 7 because first of all, it wasn't a bad show.
No, not
Second
at
of all,
all.
DeCesare.
I mean, look at some of the star power on here. You had some.
There's some- don't get me wrong.
That battle royal really took away from
The
it.
wrestling itself, I've noticed on these shows, it's not so much that it's bad, just the booking is so.
The presentation of
Yeah.
it.
It's fun
I'll
to see
give it-
Marty, though.
You were happy to see Marty?
Some Marty
Even
for
though he
about
did
5 minutes.
almost nothing.
Did you get a kick out of it? That really? Did you?
It's just interesting.
To see Marty when he was making money as opposed to falling through the wall here at the studio.
Oh.
Oh, Scott liked that spot a lot, the little choke slam.
Yeah.
Hey, at least
Well,
Marty.
Scott was probably happy that he saw the sign when he came up. They
At
welcomed
least-
him back.
Do you imagine if those two met each other and they're like, I made a sign for you?
I'll tell you this, I always liked Scott Hall. I like Scott Hall a lot in my interactions with him.
What's he like? Is it just very chill, laid back guy?
The
Talented guy.
polar opposite of what everyone has said, and I'm sure everyone has seen that disaster, or at least you have seen that disaster of an appearance he had in Fall River.
Oh, that was like, what, 10 years ago? 08, maybe 09? And Just Incredible was there.
Yeah,
And,
that
now,
was
what
a
now,
shame.
Now, can I ask you your opinion as a promoter?
Yeah.
You've promoted some events in your life. Not very well, but you've done it.
Nope.
Just kidding, of course, I kid. No, he's. What I'm trying to ask is, as a promoter, how did you feel about Steve Ricard's opinion on that in the presentation of what they did. What would you have done in that situation? What do you think about happened? Obviously, that's not an easy decision to make, no matter what.
Number one, the first interaction he had to deal with them is he's demanding his money in advance. So you've already paid the fucking guy to do whatever it is he's going to do. That puts you in a really bad place to begin with. Number two, what do you do with all the fans that came out to see him? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't remember what Steve's comments were verbatim, but he was a grown adult. He chose to do what he did. I mean, his excuse was it had something to do with his real-life medications. Whatever, he was a grown adult. Unless it was his first day taking those medications, he must have had some idea how to take them per his doctor's instructions. If he chose to present himself in that fashion after choosing to take that money that he demanded up front, I say you have to, that has to be what it is. I do not fault Steve one bit. Now, if Steve didn't pay him, there could, I think, be more of a debate. But that man chose to demand that money as soon as he got in the car.
Or if Hall had said, hey, I don't want the money, I'm really fucked up, can we work around this? Then that could have been doable.
So why bother to commit at all, I guess, at that point?
And then I know Xbox said, you're going to just throw him out there, and it's like, well, I get it, but if like you said...
Was it between his appearance fee, his airline ticket, his hotel, probably...
Over $1,000?
Over $1,000? Are you shitting me? You're probably talking $3,500 with all the expenses added up. He probably wanted a first-class air ticket, I would guess.
Well, I'm just doing conservatively.
I would say probably it ran him, I would guess, probably around $3,000.
He probably didn't even make that money off the show. I highly doubt he brought in more than $3,000 on that show.
Well, you got to look at it like this. The money you're really making off of something like that is from the gimmick sales. So it comes down to how many autographed pictures did he sell at $20, $25 each, whatever it may have been.
You're making a gamble off the gimmick sales.
Plus ticket sales for people to get in. So merchandising. There's different ways you can look at it.
Indie shows too. I've often heard. I don't know who said this to me, but you'll see one star like a Scott Hall who'll get paid everything, and then the indie guys that are coming in and they're making the indie guy money, which is $25 to maybe upwards of 100, 150 guys.
Are they selling any tickets to warrant it?
I mean, if you have the same house with Scott Hall that you did the month before without Scott Hall, then Scott Hall didn't do shit.
Well, that's the gamble the promoters take.
But if you had 100 people there and you bring Scott Hall and you got 500 people, then obviously you know who drew and who didn't draw. Granted, someone might have said you got to check out the show is really good, and they're bringing in Scott Hall next month. It's kind of hard to say sometimes. It's kind of like TV ratings where they said, oh, this week's show drew a 4. But it was really last week's show that made people want to watch this week's show.
I think when it comes to any wrestling promotion, it should boil down to a percentage. A fair percentage that's fair to the wrestler's work and the work that the promoter does. That's how I was taught by Ed Cohen at WWF/WWE. Well, I think WWE, I hate to say it, I think the guys really get brutalized where they're only getting 8% of the gross.
Each guy is getting 8%? Well,
No. As a total, the talent gets about 8% of what the company takes in. I think that's very low. When you look at the NFL, when it's about 50-50, if you look at the NBA and it's about 50-50, and in WWE it's 92-8.
What was it like back in the 80s and 90s?
There were times I remember it being maybe close to 15. It's fluctuated, but right now and I'll say this, even though it's only 8%, they're making more money than they've ever made in their lifetime.
I'm not saying
not to mention that there's no retirement options whatsoever.
Right.
Whatsoever.
I'm trying to remember who it said. I think I once heard a wrestling company, usually about 25, if you have a show, you should be paying your talent around no more than 25 to 30% of whatever you take in.
And is this a major league company or an independent?
Like an independent.
Independent, it's very different. Very different.
So if the show made $5,000, let's say, you got to pay your building.
Right.
They want to get paid. You got to pay your ring if you don't have a ring, and then you got to pay your talent, but then you might have to pay, depending on the athletic commission, if you have an athletic commission.
Well, unless you're in New York, there's very few states that still have the athletic commission.
So,
That's
a
why I know
promoter-
Kevin Manikus is anxious to try and run some live events with us down in Florida.
Really?
What he was telling me, yeah. In his group chat on Instagram.
Well, I could just say that,
Because there's no athletic commission.
Well, I could just say that, it's weird because, so that out of $5,000, if the promoter walks away with, say, $400 or $500 for himself, that's a successful show.
And think of how many hours the promoter put in to make that 500.
Yeah.
You're talking less than minimum wage.
I can tell you this. Not to disclose anything about your personal information. Someone might sit back and say, Dan Marotti might make all this money off people, but Dan Marotti doesn't, A, take advantage of people, but B, you work so many hours, when you really break it down hour by hour of what you do, it may not be as much as what people think.
It's not even in the same stratosphere of what someone would think. I mean, when it comes, if you're talking about live events, before you even pay one talent, you're talking about the building, the ring, the insurance.
But what you do even just
thousands upon thousands of dollars in advertising money.
But what you just do here every day.
Well, yeah.
I remember working jobs, what I'm trying to say is I remember working jobs and someone said, oh, the managers make so much, but it's like, well, the managers are working 60-hour weeks. When you break it down, they're probably not making as much as you think. And I think, for you, and I think we had this talk last night, I think the wrestling landscape is changing to the point where the live shows, I'm not saying they're all dead, but it's like, I think people are making more, I think in Major League Wrestling promotions, not Major League Wrestling, but major promotions are going to make their money off TV deals.
Right.
And streaming services.
That's where the money is.
That's where the money is. The days of, we went to Madison Square Garden and we made this much money and we could pay the boys this, I think are done.
Well,
unless you're doing house shows.
I look at what we did November 13th, and I mean, that's just such a, I don't want to have, get into the details of it on this platform, but as we've noted, I mean, on paper in certain ways, it was a huge, giant success, but we won't know until April 16th how much of that success it truly was.
I will say this, I think April 16th will be just as good.
The litmus test.
Yeah. Now, if April 16th ends up being a colossal failure, which I don't think it will be, then we know that something went askew with November 13th, correct?
Something went wrong that we haven't figured out yet. And someday I'm going to get into the whole story with you for the fans at home, maybe to make them understand a little bit of what the hell we've been talking about. But November 13th could have been one of the great successes in the history of our 20 years, to be honest.
Yes,
Or it could be still a monster of a situation we still have to deal with that isn't done yet. That's what continues to worry me.
And you won't know it until April 17th.
Yeah, right. So...
And I know this, depending on what happens April 16th, the conversation you and I have April 17th is going to be very weird.
I might pull an Eddie Graham. I don't know.
Oh, God. April 18th. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MWF Wrestling with your new host, Charlie Wilson.
Dan Marotti unfortunately shot himself in the head last night.
Total accident, I'm sure. Anyway, let's get on this watch along. Kevin Manikus.
Phil DeCesare's in his seat now.
Yeah. Oh, we'll miss Dan. Anyway, guys, we're watching Clash of Champions 17. Everyone buckle up now.
It isn't easy, folks, let me tell you. Trying to produce these talk shows, it isn't easy. It's so expensive to try and bring in these talents in. The airfare, the hotel, the transportation, just trying to get them around. Trying to get the studio up and running.
Oh, Dan.
What?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, if that does happen, I would be sad if you pulled it.
If I killed myself?
And I would
Thank
come
you.
in here the day after and I'd steal some gimmicks to sell on eBay.
All right.
In
But
your
would you
honor.
still do the watch-alongs?
I would do them for a while.
All right, a little while.
A little while. And then we... Oh, my God. Could you fast forward? Anyway, this is the last episode of Wrestling Challenger, Quincy Restani. It's the last episode of 1995. Quincy, it's been a hell of a ride.
Sure.
Yeah. So what's great is Quincy does Quincy's Wrestling Challenge, which is the show Wrestling Challenge. Mm-hmm. Now, Wrestling Challenge aired from 1986 to 1995. So Dan is still in October of 1986, I believe.
We haven't even hit the first episode of 86 yet.
Of October?
We've done the first 4
did he get the
episodes in
tag?
September.
He got the tag.
The hot tag from the Giant going to war with Kevin Nash.
Kind of weak punches, huh?
Someone asked earlier, and just to respond, I hate to ignore you guys, but someone said, would you like to have Big Show in the studio? Yes, we would, but he commands a substantial payday.
Yeah.
A substantial payday from the money
I thought you were
he's...
gonna say big chair.
Big Show. He would probably need a big chair,
Yeah,
too.
I think he would need a big chair.
Well, you've had some guys from AEW here. He's in AEW right now, but you've had some guys from AEW. You've had Mark Henry, former...
Who from AEW was here?
Well, they had some guy, Leo Rush.
Oh, Leo Rush was here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Leo is a
Are you-
longtime friend of ours.
Leo's so dope. Leo's so dope.
You like
Why
Leo
is
Rush?
he dope?
I mean, he's really athletic in the ring.
Yeah.
You like
he's really
Leo
good.
Rush. He's retired about 17 times from wrestling. but
Well, he got himself into some hot water the other day, which was too bad. But
he doesn't seem like a smart man.
Leo
I mean, I don't know
is
his
a
personal life,
very
so what's up with that?
Leo's a very passionate human being.
He just seems like kind of like a...
His filter doesn't work all that well.
What did he do?
And
just
I
seems-
love Leo.
he
I
just seems-
love Leo.
He just seems a little, and I'm not trying to pick on anyone with mental health issues, a little soft.
Well,
What does that mean?
Well, I'm not talking about between the pants, you know what I mean? I'm talking about...
with all those kids he has, no, definitely not. Look at that.
Oh,
Shades
God.
of Eddie Guerrero.
How many kids does he have?
3.
He
And
tried
he's
to
not
pull
a
an
young,
Eddie.
he's not an old guy.
No, I think he's younger than me.
Oh, much.
What, like maybe 2 or 3 years?
Leo, I think he's 26.
26.
26, 27 probably. I don't know, I thought he was great with Lashley as that mouthpiece, but, you know, that was probably the...
I don't know. You know.
Because I think he's too... I think you would think he's too small to be a wrestler.
Did you ever
Or
watch
do you not think
the?
that?
No, I think he would.
I think in a
be perfect
cruiserweight
as a
division,
wrestler
he's
because
great.
of his size.
Do you
Because
like
of
him?
his
Oh, I
size.
meant to Dan. I meant it was
Oh,
asking
okay.
you. Dan, do you think he was too small to be a wrestler in your opinion?
If it, in a cruiserweight division,
Right.
great.
Yeah.
The perfect utilization was having him be Lashley's manager and having the babyface try and get him. I thought that was excellent. Did you ever watch the interviews we did with him here in the studio? When he
watched
talked about some of his mental health problems?
I don't know. He just seemed kind of...
I don't watch those
A
interviews.
little,
I didn't know he was here.
a little boring to me, maybe at times.
You were bored with Leo?
Well, I wasn't into him as much as Marty or John Nord.
I gotta see
Well,
those
granted,
interviews.
he
I
hasn't
didn't know
had the
was here.
same experiences. What'd you say, buddy?
I have to watch those interviews. Like, I didn't know he was here. Leo.
He was.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, the Big Show, or what the hell was he here? The Giant turned.
Well, Hall turned, and
You think Phil's upset he brought the sign at this point?
he's like, fuck Scott Hall. Or he said, fuck Scott Hall.
Now,
Oh, Sting's forehead
Sting
came off.
is confused.
Looks like a cake.
He's wondering where his forehead went.
Looks like Shotzi Blackheart just took a shot to the face. after.
Somebody have a Greek flag?
That's a Greek flag. Yep, as a fellow Greek, I approve of that message.
Wilson is a Greek name.
My mom's
I
side.
thought Manikus was a Greek.
Manikus sounds
Well,
like a
that's the
Greek
Manicheans.
warrior. Well, what a cliffhanger to get you to tune into Nitro to the next night.
What did you do after tonight? After this night, Phil? Were you going on the town after the Slamboree event?
Let's see what Phil says.
On the town of Worcester.
Fans, we're going to ask you what you thought of the show tonight on a scale of 1 to 10. We'll go around the room. I'll start with John C. Manikus Reilly. What did you think of Slamboree?
I thought it was like a 6.
A 6.
It was pretty solid.
How would you have compared it to last night's show? ECW.
I like the
Barely
energy.
Legal.
I like the energy that they brought to the table.
Of ECW or WCW?
Which
ECW was last night.
okay, yeah, the
That
energy
energy.
that
Yeah.
ECW brought.
You enjoyed ECW more.
I like the.
He gave them an 8.
He did, that's right, yeah.
I like the like chaotic drunk guy energy that they brought.
All right, I passed the baton to Kevin Manikus Hart.
A 7.
Now, which one did you enjoy more?
Oh, you know I enjoyed
Slamboree
it.
or Barely Legal?
Barely legal.
Why did you look disgusted with me? Why did you like Barely Legal more?
Barely Legal was raw. Barely Legal was entertaining. Slamboree, with that battle royal, I was just like, nah, I was not here for that match.
But yet you still gave it a 7.
I mean, the other matches were cool. You know, it was average. 7 is average, so it was an average show.
I think 7's a little better than average, but that's just my
I'd
opinion.
say 5 is average.
Yeah, to
Think
me,
5 is
about-
average?
Yeah. We need to
I'd say
come up with
7.
like a grading system. All right, I passed the baton to the Greek Mr. Wilson.
6.5.
6.
Oh, will you
I'm
stop?
actually gonna switch to that. I was gonna say 6.5.
6.5.
Now that I thought about it more,
6.5.
6.5.
I always do halves to annoy Dan.
I think 7 is too good,
Integers
actually.
only.
6.5, and I'm gonna go 6.5. And
You
I
never
know,
heard that
and
word
you're gonna
like a
ask me,
minute
do I prefer
integer?
this or ECW this?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I had no
Were you a
doubt.
big math,
ECW,
big
in
math
my
guy?
opinion,
Not really.
Okay.
cool,
Not like huge, but
all hip, underground. But again, if I'm watching a professional sport, I want to watch some rules. I want to watch my pro wrestling like I watch my football. I want to watch something with rules and something that means something. And I don't know. ECW's had too many things.
What about in moderation? Would you have enjoyed ECW
A
more?
little bit more in moderation. But I'm going to go with WCW's a solid 6.5. But you know what? How about you, Dan Marotti? What are you going to give it?
Tonight Show.
I want to push it to a 7 just because of DeCesare.
See,
Oh, yeah,
I
that
need
was
to
cool to
include DeCesare.
Do you have to include DeCesare?
Yes. Well, it was part of the show.
I'll go
that
with
is-
7.5.
You know what?
then.
That's true.
I'll go 6.8.
I think my score stands.
I'm gonna go 6.9 actually.
6.9. Just say 7.
I'll go 7. I'll go 7 because the Cesare was
I'm going
there.
back to 6.5.
A little DeCesare check mark on that 6.
And you know what? Just because DeCesare, I'm going with a 7.
Did you like it more than Barely Legal?
No.
You like Barely Legal more?
I thought Barely Legal had much more energy and much more
you
passion
gave Barely
behind it.
Legal a 7 too.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Well, you know what?
gave-
And
yeah,
that was
you did give
because
that a
your
7, yeah.
observations dragged it down, and DeCesare wasn't in the arena.
I'll say this: if you were running a wrestling show, you would be much more like a WCW show as opposed to ECW.
Much more.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Because that's. I
I
mean,
hate the lack of logic.
Yeah. But also,
But-
you can't go out there and do blood and violence and tits and all that
You
stuff.
got to, and it was a
in front of
different era.
Piggott.
This was '97.
Yeah, in front of Piggott. Dan Marotti, I saw the blood on my floors.
There's no rule about blood.
Really? None?
No.
Look through
But
the
there's a
whole
rule about you being there, apparently.
No. The only real rule is about, well, it's and even that is an unofficial rule, is intergender wrestling.
Well, you wouldn't do that
against
again.
Piggott demanded that the master footage was deleted from an intergender match that took place there with another promotion, or they'd never be allowed to rent it again.
Why is that?
Because I guess the guy beat the shit out of the woman, and
But what
Piggott, after all the shit that I caused for her,
What if the guy transforms into a woman?
well, you know what? That's actually a good point. That's a good point. I might have
That's
to
a good
use
gimmick,
that one.
John C. We should have him.
John fucking C.
You know
yet
anyone who could
again.
do that? That'd be a cool
What?
thing. You should get someone to do that. You should find someone.
No, I
You
mean I
saying
can.
I
use-
should look for a transgender person?
Oh, wait a minute.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you have. You know someone who can
Wait
do
a
that.
minute.
Bring them to the show, and then Dan can use them.
I
in
don't
his
know
show.
many trans women.
Oh, okay.
You know some.
Yeah.
I used to know some from the salon.
I know a non. I have a
The
friend who's
salon.
non-binary.
The
I can ask
salon,
my,
yeah.
I ask my non-binary friend if they would like to.
You
try.
have a non-binary. See that?
No,
now you-
non-binary,
But see,
and
non-binary,
they use she, her pronouns, but I don't. I'm. She'll wear like a skirt, and she'll be gender neutral, but she'll still use her and she pronouns, and she's changed her name from to, what is it? Doreen. Doreen is now her name.
Doreen is now her name.
So I don't know too much about non-binary folks. I'm ignorant about it. I don't know too much about
I
it.
remember Cupcake's husband got a little bit of heat at the salon.
One of my
over that
best
once.
friends is non-binary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it just you don't subscribe to any gender?
What?
You don't subscribe to any gender?
That's not necessarily it. It's that can be it, but it could also be like, oh, I'm somewhere in between
I think Julian's right. Wow, don't go there.
What?
This conversation.
Well, no, we're not making fun of anyone. We're
Tom
not- we're
said,
just-
is that the Haiti kid?
That's what I said yesterday. The Haiti kid, man.
We dug up the Haiti kid for Wrestling Insiders. All right, I think it's time for the 10-bell salute for Betty White and Bob Saget.
All right. Let those
Wrestling
Do we have a
legends.
belt? Oh, wait,
I guess
YouTube
Betty
guys, I
White was
forgot.
on an episode of Raw.
She was?
What?
She was an episode of Raw.
Are you asking me if she was?
No. I'm confirming what
Confirming,
you're
yeah.
saying.
No, she wasn't an episode of Raw years ago. 2014 maybe.
I remember I enjoyed this triple threat match quite a bit, even though we're not
Saturn,
talking about
Raven, and who else? Benoit?
Benoit and Malenko, and I think it's Kidman and Ray Ray. Not to be confused with you.
I like Saturn's.
I feel like I was at home for a
I
second.
like Saturn's gimmick jacket thing.
Yeah, maybe he was non-binary at that point. But let's see if we can find the bell. We
YouTube has it.
Who?
YouTube. Oh, wait, play Undertaker's.
I don't think we should play the Undertaker theme. I think that
Play Undertaker's theme song.
that might be a little much. Look at that. Charlie's wants complete respect for Betty and Bob.
You know
that
what?
he had to hit the
There's a
pause
good joke I
button.
saw. What's the difference? Oh God, what was the joke? Who was the guy from? Oh man. Paul Walker. What's the difference between Paul Walker and Betty White? Paul Walker made it past 100 before he died. Boom, boom, boom.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
I didn't say it was a good joke. Anyway, whenever you're ready for that
All right,
10 bell
I'm
button.
looking. Let's see.
Oh, look a little.
Who made that joke? That
Let's
was.
see.
I saw it
Is that a
somewhere-
Twitter joke?
I saw that on Facebook. It was on a Skeletor meme page I'm on.
A Skeletor meme.
It
That
says
is so
Skeletor up in this motherfucker. That's the group I'm in. It's really funny. I like it.
That sounds like something from 2008. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait. All right, we'll go
No,
back.
that's a wrestling bell.
Where do you want to
But
start?
this is going to be for Bob and Betty.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have a unintentionally funny story about a 10-bell salute when we're done with this. But this is for Bob and Betty. Ladies and gentlemen, let them rest in peace, please. That's for Bob and Betty, ladies and
The bell was
gentlemen.
too high, though.
If you
This
pull
is
a
too
Betty
high
Graham,
pitch.
can we do that on the air? We'll do a
Yes,
10 bell
please.
for you as well.
Well, you know, listen to this now. You're going back to October of 1998. And Tony Rumble had a show here in Melrose, and it was during a time when there was a lot of drug and alcohol issues with teenagers in this city.
At Memorial Hall?
No, at the middle school
A
gym.
time when?
Well, right? But anyway, a kid, I don't know if he walked off a cliff or fell off a cliff, but he wound up dying. Well, that usually happens when you walk off a cliff, but,
My mom knew a kid who fell off a cliff in high school, but he was fine.
well, good. I'm glad he survived. But anyway, this was the week of Tony's event, so they wanted to do a 10-bell salute. And I was at the helm with the bell. We were doing the 10-bell salute, and I lost track of where we were. So I remember looking at the jackal. I said, how many times have I rang it? And it had to have gone to 12 or 13.
So you had to throw in extra ones. You don't want to be short.
I didn't want to be short, but I didn't want. We'd have to go. The executive director of the studio probably has the tape of it, but I'd love to know how many times I actually rang
And you have
it.
to time it to like 1, 2, 3, ding, 1, 2, 3.
No, I just kind of went ding.
I forget, at the thing at Memorial
Ding.
Hall, did Quincy talk during a moment of silence or something? I
He
feel like
did a lot of things at Memorial Hall.
I feel like I remember somebody called for like a moment of silence for like all the legends that we
Quincy
lost.
screamed.
Yes.
I don't know if
Cena Sr. grabbed the mic and schmoozed the crowd and said, we'll have to, with all our good friends, we'll have to. By the way, Cena Sr. schmoozed in the group photo with all the legends. You know, they do the group photo, and that's where Medusa came up to me and said, "Is this part of the package? Is this part of it?" But she came up to me, but he got in there. He was part of the photo.
Slid in, yeah.
He slunk in, Cena Senior, and I was just like, no one wants a picture with you.
I mean, there's kids in Cena gear. Like, I'm sure they wanted.
Well, like two of them maybe.
Brothered him.
Actually, the saddest thing, John C., was that, remember Doink?
Yeah.
One little kid wanted to see Doink wrestle, and Doink left early.
Well, he was never going to wrestle.
Yeah, never going to wrestle,
so
but he wanted to see Doink. And I found out Doink had left the building.
That has the chairman extremely angry.
Neil Manolian?
Extremely angry.
How did he get his money, though, before?
Well, I wasn't there to take part in it, but he was extremely angry. More than I was with Horseface, so that tells you all you need to know.
And I know he's never coming back, probably. I doubt it. I doubt anyone from that group is coming back, except maybe Justin Credible or Bushwhacker Luke.
Luke, yeah.
Well, Marty.
But Luke, well, Marty too.
Marty potentially.
Yeah.
Marty.
If the fans want Marty and they're willing to pay for Marty, we'll give them Marty.
Who's doubling the donations, by the way, again?
Chris Steve. So remember, fans, between now and the next 2.5 hours, anyone that donates, I should put the link up, to the Marty Jannetty Indiegogo, baby, Steve's is doubling it. That's a hell of a deal. Any way you look at it, I don't know if you'd concur with that, CW.
I think so.
Yeah. So get your donate. Oh, look at that. Yeah, Kevin Manikus Hart over there is sending in his donations now. Everybody wants to party with Marty here at MWF Studios. Downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, in the zip code of Champions. Would you like to see Marty at the Back to the 80s event? I don't know. After we just had him for the 90s one, that might be stretching it, Charlie Manikus.
Well, I don't think that would be the best.
Too soon.
Too soon. I think as far as the show on April 16th, you want people that you haven't seen.
Fresh.
You want fresh. I mean, they're from the 80s, so how fresh can they
Well,
be?
I was going to say the same thing. But
some of them might be one.
You know, the funny thing is the lineup, in many ways, is just about done. There's 4 guys, I would say, we're about 80% complete on, and another one at least over 50. So,
barring anything like last time.
Let me ask you this: if all 8 of these people are there that you think are going to be there,
yes.
Right, is it a more impressive lineup than November the 13th?
To me, yes.
Okay. Majorly more impressive, or like it's kind of close?
Light is killing
last
me.
show was so crazy. I'd
wanna
say
say
a
a
lot more.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, we're going to have, the great in-ring
Are
talent.
they all 80s guys that you have? Those 8 of them?
Well, we'll have the 8 featured legends for the VIP package,
But they're all
like
80s
we did.
stars.
Right,
or
like we
early
did.
90s.
Because
Duggan early was in the 90s. Demolition.
Well, Duggan, I still don't know about.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's
Duggan.
why.
I always think Duggan is. I always think Duggan's coming back, but we don't know 100% for some reason.
Look at this. Look. Let me see if I can make it any bigger.
Oh my God, I've left the camera on.
Is it Phil? I can't see the screen.
Well, the screen went. It's recycled. It's spinning. But look at this.
You sex that out, I'm sure.
What does it rhyme with?
What happened with the camera?
Doesn't he look a little bit like Al Snow here? Saying, what does everybody want?
I don't know about Al Snow.
With the goatee.
Wait, it was always
Little
one of me?
Steve Blackman.
I don't know, Stevie Richards
Like
with the
after
beard, maybe?
Dan got up.
Yeah.
Well, wrestling fans, this certainly has been a lot of fun. Phil, that may be the new. That may have to be the. Can you believe that, Chris? No one has taken you up on your offer yet. I don't know.
Wait, what happened before that?
With what?
You were talking about something right before you.
Yeah, what was
We were
that?
laughing at the picture of that someone screenshotted of Phil saying "Welcome back, Hall," and Chris Steves is saying in the chat, no one has taken him up on his very kind offer to double any donation to the Marty Jannetty Indiegogo. I'm shocked, literally. But you know what? I think that should tell Marty something, maybe more than anything. Am I right or wrong, CW?
I'd say you're right on that.
Yeah. All right. Well, wrestling fans, we are running out of time here on this tremendous watch along. John C. Manikus Reilly is headed to the back. We will be back next Sunday in some way, shape, or form. What is it we're going to be watching?
Well, Sunday, we're talking about maybe, we're not sure if you're going to be back on Sunday.
No, I won't. No, I'm gone.
You want to do Rumble 2000?
01? Or 2000? It does. Wait, no, because we talked about 01 so many times. So it doesn't actually
Hot's out of control.
Well, I thought we'd do both.
Okay, we can do both.
You want to do Rumble 2000? And then 2001?
The week after?
Yeah.
The week after. Okay.
Well, we ignored the week after, though.
Oh. We can balance back and forth.
That's right.
We go back in time, 2001, 2000, 93, 92. You want to do that?
However, I think with Noid's
Whatever
here, we
we
should do it.
I'm down.
At least do 92 and 93.
You think he's not going to want to watch himself wrestle? He may not want to see himself.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I know. All right, how about this? How about next week we'll do Rumble 2001?
Hell of an event. I look forward to it.
Rumble 01.
01.
01.
Oh,
when I was born.
Not 2000.
Oh, my Lord. I thought we were going to go back in time, like 2001.
We're going to do 01. Let's just do 01.
Oh, well, all right.
Do 01.
So 01 is a great year because I was
From
born
New
in 01.
Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, it's a great town, I heard.
I love New Orleans. The little Dutch
Mardi
boy
Gras.
from Holland made it to New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, hello.
Hi. But
So 01 Rumble, got it.
so we just have to figure out when we're going to do it and if DeCesare is going to join us.
Let's talk after the...
Yeah, after the show. And
Go
then,
black.
again, John Noyd will be with us for watch-alongs on the 22nd and the 23rd.
Yep, I'll be there one.
Then we got, hopefully both, then we got Dirty Dutch. I don't know what we're going to watch with Dirty Dutch.
I thought we want to do the live Rumble with him, or no?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if he wants to do an old show that he was on, that's fine with me.
Well, no, I think we should. I think when we do the actual pay-per-view that's live, it usually does a good number.
Will he be here the next day, the Sunday?
Yes.
Okay. So you could do another one with him, but he might want to just do questions.
Well, maybe even that WrestleMania when he managed Swagger against Del Rio.
Oh.
What year is that? Not
2013.
13, yeah.
You don't have to point.
He's like,
I'm just passionate.
Kevin Manikus High. Now, Manikus, when are you going to talk to this posse, this harem?
Well,
that you
we're
have?
meeting. Well, we're meeting this week.
You're going to have a meeting with these people.
Yeah, in person.
Now, you have to understand that we have to talk delegation. You're going to be in charge of these people. I don't know if they're going to like that.
I don't know if I want to be in charge of them.
Well, maybe Charlie will have to be in charge of them.
I don't like to be in charge of anyone. I like people just to do their own thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to be in charge of
You're in
them.
charge of all of us.
What about Riley?
Nah.
Why? You don't think they'd respect John C. Manikus Reilly?
I don't think he wants to delegate either.
John C., would you whip these people into shape from Emerson College? Maybe. Maybe it'll be a team effort, John. I don't know. All right, wrestling fans, we're running out of time here tonight. I hope you enjoyed our Slamboree, Jamboree. Again, we'll be back next week with Royal Rumble 2000, and then in less than 2 weeks, Saturday, January the 22nd, it's almost like that AAA pay-per-view when worlds collide.
Back in '94.
Quincy Rastani and John Noyd at the same time.
Can we do a picture of them facing each other?
Yes, almost like one of those UFC.
Rastani Nord.
All right, for John C. Manikus Reilly in the booth, Kevin Manikus Hart over there that was 3 hours late.
Ooh. 3 hours
MWF
late?
longtime associate talent
3 hours
relations
early
director,
last time.
Charlie Wilson. I'm Dan Marotti. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well, be healthy. Good night from Boston.
Too sweet.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now.